Chapter 2961. A short while later, the flame on the purple crystal had absorbed enough fire of civilization, and it had taken on a form. It was a little girl with purple hair. Judging from her appearance, she was only 5 or 6 years old. Seeing the little girl take form, Mo Qingyun showed a curious expression and asked her, "What's your name? What happened to your race?" Hearing Mo Qingyun's question, the little girl's expression became sad. She said, "My name is Zi and I'm a member of the royal family of the Amethyst race. The 9 Heaven Evil race is planning a shocking scheme. They need the purple gold saint fire of my race, so they've destroyed my race." The 9 Heaven Evil race? Mo Qingyun frowned and turned to look at Lame Yuan, wanting to get an answer from her. Lame Yuan shook her head. She had never heard of this race. Seeing Mo Qingyun and Mo Qingyun's confusion, Zer put on a pitiful expression and said, "I come from a place very far away. Our race's sacred land appeared here because our progenitor used a heaven-defying secret technique to create a crack in the world barrier and sent the sacred land through the crack." "I see." After listening to Z's explanation, Mo Qingyun nodded in understanding. So they weren't from this world. Everything made sense now. When Mo Qingyun understood this, he also vaguely guessed Z's true origins. He thought to himself, "If I'm not mistaken, this little girl before me might have come from the mysterious heaven realm." Although this was his guess, Mo Qingyun did not say it out loud. "Zir, since this is your race's sacred land, you should be very familiar with this place, right?" After knowing Zir's identity, Mo Qingyun did not hold back and directly asked her for help. Otherwise, it would take too much time to search through the vast purple heaven sacred land bit by bit. "Other than some forbidden areas, I've been to most places." Z was not scheming and answered Mo Qingyun's question without holding back. She probably did this because Mo Qingyun fed her the fire of civilization, which made her have a good impression of him. Hearing Z's words, Lame Yuan's pretty face lit up with joy and her eyes flashed with excitement. With Z's guidance, their following operations would become much easier. "In that case, let's go." After discussing with the heir for a while, Mo Qingyun did not want to waste any more time and prepared to search for the old hall master's corpse. Upon hearing Mo Qingyun's words, Zer revealed an awkward expression as she said, "Big brother, my original body has already dissipated. I'm only in spirit form now and cannot leave this purple source crystal. I'm afraid I won't be able to leave with you." Amethyst crystals? Looking at the purple crystal that was standing on, Mo Qingyun revealed a curious expression. He carefully sized it up and said, "If I take it with me, won't you be able to leave this place?" "No." Zir shook her head and said, "This amethyst crystal is connected to a small-scale amethyst mineral load. If you mine the amethyst crystal, its power will quickly dissipate until it is completely exhausted. Without the purple source crystal to replenish my power, I will also dissipate very quickly." After hearing Zir's explanation, Lame Yuan's brows furrowed tightly, and she could not help but feel a little worried. This will be a little troublesome. Mo Qingyun's brows were tightly knitted together as he rubbed his chin, his mind quickly turning. Mo Qingyun pondered for a moment and had an idea in his heart. He immediately said to Zir, "I have an idea that can take you away from here, but I'll have to trouble you a little." "Really?" Zir's eyes immediately lit up when she heard Mo Qingyun's words, and an expectant look appeared on her face. Evidently, she was also very eager to leave this place after being trapped here all alone. "I have a special ability that can turn living beings into my star general, and they will live and die together with me." Under Zir's expectant gaze, Mo Qingyun's face was solemn as he explained the situation of star generals. He then said, "If you become my star general, you will not be bound by these restrictions and can leave with us. Big brother, I'm willing to become your star general. Quickly tell me what to do." Hearing that she could leave this place, Zir's expression became excited as she urged Mo Qingyun. In response to Zir's urging, Mo Qingyun did not immediately take action. Instead, he continued, Before I accept you as my star general, I must remind you that once you become my star general, your life and death will be under my control. Unless I remove the soul contract, you will not be able to leave on your own." After hearing Mo Qingyun's words, Er's expression became hesitant. Evidently, Mo Qingyun's words had caused her to have some misgivings. After a brief moment of hesitation, revealed a resolute expression and said, "Big brother, by telling me all this, it shows that you are a magnanimous person. I believe that you will not harm me, and I am willing to become your star general." Good. Seeing that was willing, Mo Qingyun did not say anything else and began to form a contract with her. Not long after, became Mo Qingyun's star general and flew into Mo Qingyun's soul palace. After entering Mo Qingyun's soul palace, revealed a pleasantly surprised smile and said, "Big brother, you really didn't lie to me. I can really leave purple source crystal." Hearing Er's words, Mo Qingyun smiled faintly and did not say anything else. Seeing this scene, Lei Muan also revealed a happy expression and said, "Qingyun, Er's problem has been solved. Let's leave this place." Wait a moment. Mo Qingyun raised his hand and stopped Lei Muan in her tracks. Seeing Mo Qingyun's actions, Lei Muan was puzzled and turned to look at him. In response to Lei Muan's confusion, Mo Qingyun did not explain and quickly formed seals with his hands. Soon, strange saint inscriptions appeared one after another in front of Lei Muan's eyes. Seeing Mo Qingyun's actions, she was even more puzzled in her heart, but she did not open her mouth to disturb him. Under Lei Muan's curious gaze, the saint inscriptions flew into the ground one by one and blossomed with dazzling light. Boom, boom, boom. Not long after, the ground began to shake and cracks appeared. Following that, rays of purple light shot out from the cracks in the ground. Looking at the scene in front of her, Lei Muan revealed a look of understanding. She knew what Mo Qingyun was going to do. "Qingyun, you plan to move the purple source or vein?" Lei Muan asked in surprise. "That's right." Mo Qingyun did not hide anything from Lei Muan and nodded honestly. While Mo Qingyun and were talking, the purple source or vein appeared and emitted a mysterious energy. Seeing the purple source or vein appear, Mo Qingyun raised his hand and moved it to the Fortune mainland. After moving the purple source or vein away, Mo Qingyun said to "I've moved the purple source or vein away, but it can no longer regenerate. If you need purple source crystals, you can come and find me at any time." And hearing Mo Qingyun's words, Er's face lit up and her voice was filled with excitement. After instructing Mo Qingyun did not want to stay any longer. He nodded at Lei Muan and said, "Everything is settled. Let's leave this place." Lei Muan nodded and left with Mo Qingyun. After leaving the Purple Punishment Hall, Mo Qingyun and took out a map and searched for their next target. While Mo Qingyun and were talking, Zer's innocent voice sounded, "Big brother, big sister, the treasures in those places you mentioned have already been taken away. I know of some places that no one has been to before." Hearing Er's words, Mo Qingyun and Er's eyes lit up in pleasant surprise. From Er's words, it seemed like she knew everything about the purple heaven's holy ground. Thinking of this, Mo Qingyun's face lit up with anticipation, and he asked her, "Do you know everything that happened in the purple heaven's holy ground?" "I know most of it." Did not hide anything and answered truthfully. Hearing Er's answer, Lei Muan's expression became excited. If that was the case, wouldn't know that his father had been killed as well? "We want to ask you about a person. If you know his whereabouts, can you lead the way for us?" When Mo Qingyun said this, his tone was clearly excited, and a strong sense of anticipation arose in him. If they knew the old palace master's whereabouts, they would be able to save a lot of time. Nodded. Seeing Er's reply, Mo Qingyun signaled to Lei Muan to display the old palace master's image. After the old palace master's image appeared, Lei Muan asked with a nervous expression, Sister have you seen this person before? Do you know where he is now? I have some impression of this person. I think he entered the purple heavens holy ground a long time ago. Looking at the old palace master's image, Zier's beautiful brows knitted together as if she was recalling something. Seeing Zier's expression, Lei Muin's beautiful face tensed up, and she could not help but clench her fists. Zier pondered for a moment before a sudden realization dawned on her, and she said, I remember now. He went to the Purple Flame Valley with a group of people. However, after entering the Purple Flame Valley, he was ambushed by a group of people and was killed by them in the end. Thud, thud, thud. Lei Muin had already guessed that the old palace master could not be alive. However, when she heard Zier's words, her heart trembled, and she could not help but take a few steps back. Seeing Lei Muin's reaction, Mo Qingyun looked at her tenderly and pulled her into his arms. Leaning into Mo Qingyun's arms, Lei Muin's complexion improved a little. Tears welled up in her eyes as she said, I'm fine. Let's go to the Purple Flame Valley. All right. Seeing Lei Muin's reaction, the worry in Mo Qingyun's heart lessened, and he instructed Zier, you know the location of the Purple Flame Valley. Show us the way. Zier nodded. Then Zier landed on Mo Qingyun's shoulder and led the two of them to the Purple Flame Valley. Although they had Zier to show them the way, the Purple Flame Valley was still very far from the Purple Punishment Hall. Even though Mo Qingyun and Zier had sped along the way, it still took them several hours to arrive outside the Purple Flame Valley. Chapter 2962. As he stood outside the Purple Flame Valley, Mo Qingyun could clearly sense an astonishing heat wave coming from it. This heat wave was obviously different from an ordinary heat wave. Ordinary fire energy would only give people the feeling of being burned. However, the fire energy in the Purple Flame Valley not only gave people the feeling of being burned, but it also gave people the feeling of being frozen. Feeling the burning of the fire energy, Mo Qingyun activated his saint body to resist the corrosion of the fire energy. Lei Muin was the same as Mo Qingyun. Feeling the damage of the fire energy, she quickly activated her saint body to resist. However, Zier, who was on Mo Qingyun's shoulder, remained calm. She wasn't affected by the fire energy at all. Let's go in. After a simple scan of the surroundings, Mo Qingyun lifted his foot and walked into the Purple Flame Valley. After entering the Purple Flame Valley, Mo Qingyun could clearly feel that the fire energy had become stronger. What a powerful fire energy. If it was an ordinary sector lord, they probably wouldn't be able to withstand it. Thinking about his special situation, Mo Qingyun smiled faintly and felt lucky. Immediately, Mo Qingyun and Lei Muin entered the Purple Flame Valley to search for the old palace master's corpse. Mo Qingyun and Zier didn't walk far before they noticed that the surroundings seemed to have just experienced an intense battle. Someone should have been here not long before we arrived. Mo Qingyun's expression turned grave as he scanned the surroundings. He was on his guard. Those who could enter the Purple Flame Valley weren't weak. They were at least half-step great emperors. Hearing Mo Qingyun's reminder, Lei Muin's face tensed up and she raised her guard. Big brother, big sister, you have to be careful. There's a purple flame, poisonous lizard in front. Just as Mo Qingyun and Zier raised their guard, Zier's tender voice entered their ears. Hearing Zier's reminder, Mo Qingyun and Zier tensed up even more. Soon after, the speed at which the two of them were moving forward became much slower. Mo Qingyun and Qin Wentian hadn't gone far when they saw several giant purple lizards appear not far ahead. Seeing the purple lizards in front of him, Mo Qingyun released his divine telekinesis to sense their strength. Half-step Great Emperor. Sensing the strength of the giant lizards, Mo Qingyun took out the nine-bull divine sword to guard against their attacks. Just as Mo Qingyun made a defensive move, the group of purple flame toxic lizards in front of them sprinted towards them. Attack! Seeing the purple flame poisonous lizard approaching, Mo Qingyun did not hesitate and immediately brandished the nine-oxen divine sword to meet the enemy. After reminding Lei Muin, Mo Qingyun moved and charged towards the purple flame toxic lizard. Space door. Gate of time. When Mo Qingyun made his move, he activated the Gate of Fortune and executed 2 sacred arts in succession. Shortly after, 2 doors of light that emitted a mysterious aura formed beside Mo Qingyun. Space expansion, time prohibition. When the 2 light doors entered his body, Mo Qingyun comprehended the power of laws contained within them. While comprehending the 2 types of power of laws, Mo Qingyun brandished his sword and slashed out a sharp sword light. When the sword light blasted out, several different types of mysterious power were added to the sword light. Soon after, the numerous purple flame toxic lizards attacking Mo Qingyun were forcibly separated. Because of that, the attacks they unleashed weakened a lot. When the purple flame toxic lizards were separated, the sword light hit one of them and penetrated its body. With a flash of blood, a half-step Great Emperor Realm purple flame toxic lizard was split in 2 by the sword light. When the purple flame toxic lizards were killed, their bodies began to dissipate and merge with the ground of the purple flame valley. Seeing this scene, Mo Qingyun was shocked. He had not expected this to happen. After a brief moment of surprise, Mo Qingyun understood why there were no corpses in the previous battlefields. It turned out that after these purple flame toxic lizards were killed, their corpses would quickly dissipate. Seeing their companions killed, the remaining purple flame toxic lizard's ferocity was immediately aroused. Soon after, the remaining purple flame toxic lizards became even crazier and pounced on Mo Qingyun and Luo Pin. Seeing the purple flame toxic lizards approaching, Lei Yuan's face turned cold, and she summoned the sky purple lightning bell. Then, nearly half of the purple flame toxic lizards were trapped by the sky purple lightning bell. With half of the purple flame toxic lizards trapped, the pressure on Mo Qingyun and Luo Pin was greatly reduced. They began to hunt the remaining purple flame toxic lizards. Qingyun, help me from the side. I will hunt the purple flame toxic lizards. Without waiting for Mo Qingyun to attack again, Lei Yuan's voice sounded in his ear. Hearing Lei Yuan's words, Mo Qingyun did not think too much and nodded at her. Lei Yuan's realm was profound, and her battle strength was even stronger. Letting her attack head-on would indeed be much more efficient. Double-time prohibition. After deciding to cooperate with Lei Yuan, Mo Qingyun no longer hesitated and immediately released the power of law. With the release of the double-time prohibition, the purple flame toxic lizards that were charging at Mo Qingyun and Luo Pin immediately froze in place. Kill. Seeing this scene, Lei Yuan did not hesitate and blasted a palm at them. Immediately, a terrifying force of ice and lightning blasted out from Lei Yuan's palm and turned into a huge shadow of ice and lightning. Ka. When the shadow of ice and lightning blasted out, it emitted a terrifying force of ice and quickly sealed the surroundings in ice. In the blink of an eye, the remaining purple flame toxic lizards were domineeringly sealed in ice. Not only that, but when these purple flame toxic lizards were sealed in ice, they were also bombarded by the power of thunder. Rumble. Under the bombardment of the power of thunder, several of the weaker purple flame toxic lizards were directly blasted into powder. The powdered purple flame toxic lizards quickly disappeared and blended into the ground of the purple flame valley. Slash! When Lei Yuan waved her palm, Mo Qingyun swung his sword and blasted out a crescent-shaped sword light. The sword light blasted out and swallowed up the remaining purple flame toxic lizards with a force that could sweep away 1,000 troops. Bang, bang, bang. Under the domineering bombardment of the sword light, the frozen purple flame toxic lizards were immediately blasted into pieces. Then, the purple flame toxic lizards that were not enveloped by the heaven-sealing purple lightning bell were killed by Mo Qingyun and Luo Pin. Open the heaven-sealing purple lightning bell and kill the remaining purple flame toxic lizards. Hearing Mo Qingyun's instructions, Lei Yuan did not hesitate at all and immediately put away the heaven-sealing purple lightning bell. Seeing Lame Yuan put away the heaven-sealing purple lightning bell, Er's beautiful brows knitted together tightly and revealed a confused expression. She said, "This thing looks so familiar. I seem to have seen it somewhere before. Where did I see it?" Muttered and did not say anything else. Her attention shifted elsewhere. Due to the critical situation at this moment, Mo Qingyun and Luo Pin did not notice Er's words just now. Otherwise, they would definitely ask in detail about the origin of the heaven-sealing purple lightning bell. Time prohibition. When the purple flame toxic lizards were released from the heaven-sealing purple lightning bell, Mo Qingyun released the double time prohibition law and restrained their movements. Seeing that the purple flame toxic lizards were restrained, Lame Yuan blasted out a terrifying palm of ice and lightning. Crack, crack, crack. In a short while, these purple flame toxic lizards were sealed in ice and shattered one after another. Although the stronger ones were not shattered by the lightning palm, they were still shattered by Mo Qingyun's sword light. Soon after, the purple flame toxic lizards besieging Mo Qingyun and Luo Pin were all slaughtered. Let's continue to go deeper. After killing the purple flame toxic lizards blocking the way, Mo Qingyun's footsteps did not stop as he continued to walk deeper into the purple flame valley. Hearing Mo Qingyun's words, Lame Yuan hurriedly followed. The two did not walk far before encountering another group of purple flame toxic lizards. They were all killed by them. In the following time, the two walked and killed like this, exploring various places in the purple flame valley. In the blink of an eye, several hours had passed. After several hours of exploration, the entire purple flame valley had been explored. But what disappointed Mo Qingyun and Luo Pin was that they did not find the old temple master's corpse. Getting such a result, Mo Qingyun could not help but feel disappointed. At the same time, he was also a little worried. He was worried that the old temple master's corpse had completely disappeared like the purple flame toxic lizards. It seems that Father's corpse has already disappeared. Seeing that they had not found the old temple master's corpse after walking through the entire purple flame valley, Lame Yuan showed a depressed expression. Seeing Lame Yuan's appearance, Mo Qingyun showed a gentle expression and walked to her side. "Don't be sad. We're not the only ones who entered the purple flame valley. Perhaps someone saw the old temple master's corpse and kindly buried him." "Qingyun, thank you for comforting me. I'm fine." Hearing Mo Qingyun's words, Lame Yuan smiled faintly and pretended that she was fine. After comforting Lame Yuan, Mo Qingyun thought for a while and said, "Now that we have basically killed all the purple flame toxic lizards in the purple flame valley, let's search around the valley later. Perhaps we will find something new." "All right." Lame Yuan agreed to Mo Qingyun's suggestion without hesitation. Then, the two of them sat down cross-legged and recovered the saint power that they had used in the battle. Mo Qingyun and Luo Pin cultivated for about an hour before they stopped cultivating and continued to search around the purple flame valley. While Mo Qingyun was searching, he was also thinking, the purple flame toxic lizards in the purple flame valley are very powerful. Those who can move around unhindered should be above the great emperor realm. If we can't find the old temple master's corpse, we will go and check if any great emperor realm experts have entered the purple flame valley. At that time, we might be able to find something from their bodies. Hearing Mo Qingyun's analysis, Lame Yuan nodded her head nervously. She could only do as Mo Qingyun said. After another few hours, Mo Qingyun and Luo Pin still had not found anything. This made them a little depressed. If that's the case, let's go out. Seeing that they still had not found anything, Lame Yuan did not want to waste any more time. Hearing Lame Yuan's words, Mo Qingyun nodded his head and began to walk out of the purple flame valley. At this moment, a set of strange clothes not far away attracted Mo Qingyun's attention. Chapter 2963. Qingyun, what did you discover? Seeing Mo Qingyun stop, Lame Yuan frowned and turned to ask Mo Qingyun. Mo Qingyun did not answer Lame Yuan's question. Instead, he walked towards the set of clothes. Mo Qingyun's actions piqued Lei Yuan's curiosity. She quickly followed behind him. When Mo Qingyun arrived in front of the strange set of clothes, he raised his hand and took it. It really belongs to them. After looking at the strange set of clothes, Mo Qingyun's guess was confirmed. Hearing Mo Qingyun's words, Lei Yuan became even more curious. She asked Mo Qingyun again, "Qingyun, what's wrong with this set of clothes? Do you know where it came from?" "Yes." Mo Qingyun nodded and said, "When you were refining the purple heaven's sacred energy, I sensed a strong murderous intent. The person who emitted the murderous intent towards me was wearing this set of clothes. I did not expect them to come here." "Is that so?" After hearing Mo Qingyun's explanation, Lei Yuan's face was filled with shock. She was very surprised by this news. At the same time, she looked at Mo Qingyun with a worried gaze. Lei Yuan thought that the person who could enter the Purple Flame Valley must be very powerful. If they had the murderous intent towards Mo Qingyun would be in a bad situation. At the thought of this, Lei Yuan became worried. She asked Mo Qingyun again, "Why did they have the murderous intent towards you? Did you have a conflict with them? Do you know who they are?" "I have a deep grudge with them. If I'm not wrong, they might be from the Dark Demon race." Hearing Lei Yuan's question, Mo Qingyun told her his speculations without holding anything back. He added, "Also, I feel that their visit to the Purple Flame Valley might be related to the corpse of the old palace master." According to Mo Qingyun's thoughts, if those people were from the Dark Devil clan, they must have been here when the old palace master was killed. Since they had been here, the treasures hidden in the Purple Flame Valley must have been taken away by them. They had all taken away the treasures of the Purple Flame Valley. Now that they were here again, there must be something that attracted them. The only thing of value to them was the corpse of the old palace master. Is it related to father's corpse? Lei Yuan was quick-witted. After Mo Qingyun's reminder, she immediately guessed a possibility. Then, her face tightened, and she became even more worried. She said, "You mean to say that they took my father's body away? Moreover, they came to take my father's body away because they want to use it to threaten us? We can't rule out this possibility." Mo Qingyun's face was solemn as he nodded at Lei Yuan. He couldn't think of a better reason to explain everything. "It seems like the old palace master's corpse isn't here. Let's leave this place." Mo Qingyun roughly guessed the situation. He didn't want to waste any more time and immediately walked out of the Purple Flame Valley. Hearing Mo Qingyun's words, Lei Yuan's face tightened. She stood behind Mo Qingyun with a heavy heart. She was worried about what she should do if the Dark Demon race threatened her with this. "Don't think too much. There will be a solution." Looking at Lei Yuan's heavy expression, Mo Qingyun smiled at her and comforted her. Hearing Mo Qingyun's comforting words, Lei Yuan's face turned for the better. However, she was still gloomy. Soon, Mo Qingyun and Lei Yuan left the Purple Flame Valley to discuss what to do next. Lei Yuan pondered for a while. Then, she asked for Mo Qingyun's opinion. She said, "Qingyun, since my father's body has been taken away, what should we do next? The old palace master's corpse might have fallen into the hands of the Dark Devil clan. Our previous plan is meaningless." Mo Qingyun analyzed the situation and came up with a plan. He said, "If that's the case, we don't have to search every secret territory. However, since we're already in the Purple Heaven Holy Land, we can't return empty-handed. Next, we'll go to some unexplored places and see if we can find anything. Also, the Dark Devil clan might have come for those places. Maybe we can meet them and snatch the old palace master's corpse from them." After listening to Mo Qingyun's idea, Lei Yuan nodded in agreement. After telling Lei Yuan his idea, Mo Qingyun did not want to waste any time. He asked Zier directly, "Are there any places in the Purple Heaven Holy Land that have not been explored by others? Let me think about it." Hearing Mo Qingyun's question, touched her chin and looked like she was thinking. After a few breaths of time, Zier's eyes lit up. She revealed a joyful expression and said, "In the past many years, many places have been searched. Now, the only places that no one has been to are the forbidden grounds of my clan. Forbidden areas? Zer's answer made Mo Qingyun frown. A troubled expression appeared on his face. He instinctively thought that there would be many dangers in the forbidden areas of the Purple Crystal Clan. The Purple Crystal Clan might have come from the Heaven Realm. There was no need to doubt their strength. One could only imagine what kind of dangers existed in the forbidden areas of the Purple Crystal Clan. However, dangers were also opportunities. With such a great opportunity in front of him, Mo Qingyun could not ignore it. Whoosh! Mo Qingyun took a deep breath and calmed his worries. He said to if that's the case, lead the way. Let's go take a look inside the forbidden areas. All right, agreed to Mo Qingyun's request without hesitation. At the same time, a pleading expression appeared on Zer's face. She said, "Big brother, big sister, after you enter the forbidden areas, can you help me continue the sacred flame so that it will never be extinguished?" Continue the sacred flame? Hearing Zer's words, Mo Qingyun was puzzled. He did not understand what she meant. Seeing Mo Qingyun and Zer's reactions, Zer organized her words and said, "In the past, when we were hunted down by the 9 Heavenly Fiend tribe, our clan used a secret technique to completely seal off our power to isolate ourselves from the 9 Heavenly Fiend tribe. However, if the sacred flame is extinguished, they will fall into an eternal slumber and turn into amethyst blood crystals. They will never wake up again." After Zer's explanation, Mo Qingyun and Zer nodded in understanding. They roughly understood the situation. "All right, I promise you." Understanding Zer's meaning, Mo Qingyun agreed without hesitation. He said, "I promise you that as long as I have a breath left, I will not let your sacred flame extinguish." "Thank you, big brother." Hearing Mo Qingyun's promise, tears appeared in Zer's eyes. Then, Zer began to lead the way, guiding Mo Qingyun to a forbidden area. End of chapter. Chapter 2964. With Zer's guidance, Mo Qingyun and Luo Yunyang's journey was smooth and unobstructed. All hidden dangers were easily avoided thanks to Zer's advance warning. Half a day later, under Zer's guidance, Mo Qingyun and Luo Yunyang arrived in front of a large purple river. Standing in front of the purple river, Zer flew to Mo Qingyun's ear and said solemnly, "This is the Purple Flame Ice River. I played here before. The river water looks calm, but it's actually very dangerous. You have to be careful later." Upon hearing Zer's warning, Mo Qingyun's expression tensed up. He didn't jump into the river rashly. Since Zer had said so, it meant that the river water wasn't simple. It could possibly be very lethal. When they arrived in front of the Purple Flame Ice River, Mo Qingyun raised his hand and summoned a celestial domain grade bone cow. After summoning the bone cow, Mo Qingyun controlled it to jump into the Purple Flame Ice River. Chi. As soon as the bone cow touched the river water, purple ice crystals appeared on its body. Within the ice crystals were purple flames that burned the bone cow's body. In a short while, the bone cow's body became tattered and lifeless. What a terrifying river water! Upon seeing the bone cow's state, Mo Qingyun's heart skipped a beat, and he felt a lingering fear. If they hadn't tested the river water first, they might have been at a disadvantage. After understanding the river water situation, Mo Qingyun's expression relaxed a little. Although the river water's destructive power is very strong, it isn't much of a threat to the arch. My constitution is rather special. Even some Thearchs can't compare to me. I'll go down and test it out first. After instructing Lei Muin, Mo Qingyun's figure flashed, and he jumped into the Purple Flame Ice River. As soon as Mo Qingyun entered the Purple Flame Ice River, he could clearly feel a wave of icy flames attacking his body. There's a burning and freezing sensation, but it doesn't do much harm to my body. After Mo Qingyun sensed it for a while, He relaxed and sent a message to Lei Muan, who was on the shore. Hearing Mo Qingyun's words, Lei Muan's figure floated into the purple flame ice river. What surprised Mo Qingyun was that the water in the purple flame ice river did not harm Lei Muan at all. Thinking of Lei Muan's physique, Mo Qingyun felt relieved. Lei Muan had received the inheritance of the Luai's ice phoenix, which gave her an instinctive resistance to the power of ice. Later on, after Lei Muan had done it with him, her resistance to the power of fire had improved greatly. As such, it was not strange that Lei Muan was not afraid of the water of the purple flame ice river. Let's dive down. Seeing Lei Muan's situation, Mo Qingyun smiled faintly and slowly moved down the purple flame ice river. As Mo Qingyun dived down, he could clearly feel that the water of the purple flame ice river was becoming more destructive. Mo Qingyun and Lei Muan hadn't dived very deep when they felt that something was wrong. They slowed down. Strange, why are there so many demon corpses? Is there someone in front of us? Seeing the corpses of the water demons, Mo Qingyun frowned, a sense of suspicion rising in his heart. Hearing Mo Qingyun's suspicion, Lei Muan's face tensed up. Those who can enter the purple flame ice river must be at least in the Emperor realm. We have to be careful. Seeing the situation below, Mo Qingyun and Lei Muan carefully dove down towards the bottom of the purple flame ice river. About an hour later, Mo Qingyun and Lei Muan arrived at the bottom of the river. They saw the purple-red water and the corpses of the water demons. Just as Mo Qingyun was shocked, Zer, who was hiding in the Soul Palace, exclaimed, "Oh no, they seem to be heading towards the entrance of the Forbidden Grounds. Let's go there immediately." Hearing Zer's question, Mo Qingyun's expression tensed up. He immediately swam into the purple-red water area. As Mo Qingyun and Lei Muan hurried over, they saw a group of people and found the culprit who caused this situation. It's him. What shocked Mo Qingyun the most was that he saw a familiar face among those people. When Mo Qingyun recognized that person, Lei Muan also recognized him. A frosty expression appeared on her pretty face as she said, "Back in the True Devil Palace, he was the one who ambushed me with Yun Xiangxiao and the others." Changxia. Hearing Lei Muan's words, Mo Qingyun's face turned cold. "I let him escape the last time in the absolute beginning demon palace. This time, I won't let him escape." Seeing Mo Qingyun's expression, Lei Muan's face tensed up. She raised her hand to pull him back and said, "His cultivation has already broken through to the Emperor realm. The two people beside him are also Emperor realm experts. We can't act rashly. Don't worry, I haven't let my anger get to my head. Now is not the time to act." Seeing Lei Muan's nervous actions, Mo Qingyun gave her a faint smile and gave her a reassuring response. Hearing Mo Qingyun's words, Lei Muan's worry immediately lessened. It could be seen that Mo Qingyun wouldn't act rashly and directly fight with Changxia. Changxia and the other two didn't notice Mo Qingyun's arrival as they were attacking a giant door with all their might. The giant door looked like a shark's mouth, and it was filled with sharp teeth. Under the attacks of Changxia and the other two, the spikes on the giant door had been broken in half. However, if they wanted to enter, they would have to break a few more spikes. No wonder it's the forbidden land of the Purple Crystal Tribe. It's indeed not an ordinary place. Looking at the situation before him, Mo Qingyun's expression was solemn, and he felt lucky. He said, "With Changxia and the other two scouting ahead, they can save us a lot of trouble. Once we've eliminated some hidden dangers, we'll take action against them. By then, should have stabilized his cultivation base. We won't be at a disadvantage if we fight." Hearing Mo Qingyun's thoughts, Lei Muan's face lit up with joy. If Mo Qingyun hadn't reminded her, she would have forgotten about It seemed that Mo Qingyun was calmer in the face of certain situations. Lei Muan didn't know that Mo Qingyun hadn't finished his words. Mo Qingyun was actually still waiting for Enchun to stabilize his cultivation base. If Enchun also stabilized his cultivation base, They would have 4 great Emperor realm experts on their side. With the strength of the 4 of them, they would have a high chance of winning against Zi, Changxie, and the other 2. They broke in the door. As Mo Qingyun pondered this, a few more of the spikes in the huge door broke in a tyrannical manner. Soon after, Zi, Changxie, and the other 2 flashed and entered the Forbidden Land. Seeing what Zi Chengxie and the other 2 did, Mo Qingyun didn't hesitate and immediately followed them. In a chapter. Chapter 2965. In order to avoid being detected by Zi Changxie, Mo Qingyun did not get too close and only followed from afar. Following behind Zi Chengxie and the other 2, Mo Qingyun realized that there were traps one after another in the forbidden area. The formations, restrictions, and strange weapons that formed these traps were all things that Mo Qingyun had never seen before. Luckily, they are leading the way. Otherwise, it would not have been easy for me to enter. Looking at the situation in front, Mo Qingyun felt a sense of lingering fear. At the same time, he felt a sense of relief. Now that Zi Changxie and the other 2 were leading the way, what he needed to do next was to sit back and enjoy the fruits of others' labor. Facing one trap after another, Zi Changxie and the other 2 were surrounded by danger and hovered on the edge of life and death. There were a few times when Zi Changxie was deeply trapped in the traps and almost died under the attacks of the formations and restrictions. Seeing that Zi Changxie managed to survive time and time again, Mo Qingyun frowned and felt a sense of doubt. He thought to himself, Zi Changxie and the other 2 seem to be very familiar with the situation inside. Although there are constant dangers, they're always able to avoid the main dangers in time, as if they have foreseen them. When this thought appeared in his mind, Mo Qingyun felt a sense of curiosity and wanted to understand it. Mo Qingyun did not believe that Zi Changxie and the other 2 were so lucky to be able to avoid the dangers time and time again. Although the behavior of these 3 fellows is a little abnormal, it is still a good thing for me. Mo Qingyun thought that if Zi Changxie and the other 2 died too quickly, there would be no one to lead the way for him. Next, Mo Qingyun and Lei Muan followed behind Zi Changxie and the other 2 quietly. With the 3 of them leading the way, Mo Qingyun and Zi Changxie's journey could be said to be extremely easy. About an hour later, Mo Qingyun and Zi Changxie advanced for a distance. Hahada's soul voice transmission appeared in Mo Qingyun's mind. Little friend Mo, my cultivation base has stabilized. Thank you for your help. If you have any instructions, feel free to tell this old man. I will do my best to help. Hearing Hahad's voice transmission, Mo Qingyun's face lit up and a bright smile appeared on his face. Seeing Mo Qingyun's behavior, Lei Muan's pretty face changed slightly. She asked in confusion, Qingyun, what's wrong? Did you find anything? Hahada's realm has stabilized. Mo Qingyun answered without hiding anything. Upon receiving such an answer, Lei Muan's expression immediately brightened, and a brilliant smile appeared on her face. In her opinion, obtaining Harhad's help was undoubtedly a great help. After he told Lei Muan about Haha's situation, Mo Qingyun smiled meaningfully and said, if that's the case, we won't have the slightest chance of winning against Zi Changxie and the other 2. Yes, Lei Muan nodded. After exchanging a few words with Lei Muan, Mo Qingyun sent a voice transmission to Hahad, informing him of the current situation. After learning about Mo Qingyun's situation, Hahad was in no hurry to come out and continued to cultivate on the Fortune mainland. After communicating with Hahad for a while, Mo Qingyun withdrew his divine sense and focused on Zi Changxie and the other 2. Because Mo Qingyun had discovered that they had already entered the forbidden area and the treasures could appear at any time. In this way, it didn't take long for them to reach the end of the passage. When they arrived at the inner part of the forbidden area, there were no longer any traps, but a huge stone room. The stone room was surrounded by purple source or veins, exuding a powerful energy. The number of purple source or veins here is much more than Zier's. Mo Qingyun couldn't help sighing as he sensed the surroundings, thinking of a way to bring them away. While Mo Qingyun was observing the surroundings, he saw a tall platform with a ball of flame burning on top of it. This ball of flame was purple in color, and it exuded an icy flame energy that deterred people from getting too close to it. This is the purple heavenly sacred fire. It is said that refining it can allow one to break through to the Emperor realm. Wait until the Holy Lord breaks through to the Emperor realm. Let's see who can contend against us. It is said that refining 3 balls of purple heavenly sacred fire can allow one to ascend to the heavenly world. I wonder if the rumors are true. Looking at the purple heavenly sacred fire in front of them, Zi Changxie and the other 2 were excited. Hearing the 3's words, Mo Qingyun's expression changed, and a trace of anxiousness appeared on his face as he said, "If we let them take away the purple heavenly sacred fire, the consequences would be unimaginable." Fortunately, I arrived in time. While Mo Qingyun was thinking this, he didn't dare to be careless, and immediately said to Lei Muan, let's stop them from taking away the purple heavenly sacred fire. Space Gate. Time Gate. After Mo Qingyun finished speaking, he no longer hesitated and immediately attacked Zi Chengxie and the other 2. Soon, 2 mysterious light gates formed above Mo Qingyun and flew into Mo Qingyun's body. Space compression. Time acceleration. When the 2 light gates entered Mo Qingyun's body, Mo Qingyun comprehended the power of the order that they contained. After comprehending the order of the Gate of Destinies, Mo Qingyun didn't hold back and immediately used it. Double space compression, double time acceleration. With the support of the 2 order powers, Mo Qingyun's speed was extremely fast, and he arrived beside the purple heavenly sacred fire in the blink of an eye. Mo Qingyun's sudden appearance shocked Zi Chengxie and the other 2. They couldn't help but be stunned. Never in their wildest dreams would they have thought that Mo Qingyun would appear at such a place. While Zi Chengxie and the other 2 were still in a daze, Mo Qingyun waved his hand and retrieved the purple heavenly sacred fire. The purple heavenly sacred fire was moved out of the Fortune mainland and placed into the purple source or vein, where it would absorb the purple source or vein's energy to burn. What Mo Qingyun didn't expect was that the purple heavenly sacred fire would consume the purple source or vein's energy faster than he had expected. In just a few seconds, he sensed that the purple source or vein's volume had shrunk by 1/10,000th. What a fast consumption speed. It seems like I have to deal with Zi Chengxie and the other 2 within 10,000 breaths. Seeing the purple source or vein's energy consumption speed, Mo Qingyun had a clear plan in his mind. Go to hell. While the 3 of them were still in shock, Lei Muan's figure flashed, and her palm struck towards Zi Chengxie. Sensing Lei Muan's attack, Zi Chengxie jumped in fright, and his face paled. He knew that he wouldn't be able to dodge Lei Muan's sneak attack. Knowing the situation he was in, Zi Chengxie didn't dare to be careless. He immediately said to the 2 people beside him, Ancestors Zi Zheng and Zi Xie, quickly help me kill this woman. All right, with the 2 of us here, it's not your turn to act rashly. Hearing Zi Chengxie's request for help, the 2 Emperor Realm experts' faces turned cold, and they charged towards Lei Muan. Seeing that Zi Zheng and Zi Xie had made their move, Zi Chengxie's expression relaxed. He revealed a sinister smile and said, Little beauty, I didn't kill you the last time, but this time you actually came knocking on my door. In Zi Chengxie's opinion, with the 3 of them's strength, it wouldn't be difficult to injure Lei Muan. End of chapter. Chapter 2966. Your opponents are the 2 of us. Seeing Zi Zheng and Zixie's actions, Mo Qingyun's expression turned cold as he flew towards them. As Mo Qingyun's figure flashed, he summoned Hahada to block the weaker Zixie. Hearing Mo Qingyun's instructions, Hada didn't hesitate at all. He directly stood in front of Zixie and said, I've just made a breakthrough in my cultivation and need a sparring partner. You're the perfect person to spar with. Humph. A brat who just entered the Emperor realm dares to fight me? You're courting death. Seeing Hahada blocking his path, Zixie's expression darkened as he spoke angrily. Obviously, he was very unhappy with Hahada for ruining his plans. However, although Zixie's words were disdainful, he did not dare to underestimate Hahada. Although his cultivation level was higher than Hahada's, he was only in the Emperor realm. He was not even a quasi-great saint. Therefore, his true strength was not much stronger than Hahada. Compared to Zixie's feelings, Zizhang's gaze towards Mo Qingyun was filled with disdain and disdain. In his opinion, a brat who was only in the Sector Lord realm was not worthy of blocking his path. You're courting death, brat. I'll kill you to warm up, and then deal with that little girl. Looking at Mo Qingyun, Zizhang smiled coldly and threw a punch towards Mo Qingyun. Zizhang clenched his fist, and a terrifying saint power burst out, changing the power of the laws around him. Sensing the changes in the laws around him, Mo Qingyun took a deep breath and felt a sense of relief. He said, "Fortunately, my laws of time acceleration and space compression are both dual attribute laws, so they aren't affected by the laws in the surroundings. Otherwise, it would be difficult to deal with him." Although the Nine-Bull Divine Sword contained the power of the laws of space and time, it was not very effective against the surrounding laws. Humph. If you want to deal with me, you'll have to try my sword first. Facing Zizhang's attack, Mo Qingyun did not retreat at all. He immediately swung his sword towards him. The Nine-Bull Divine Sword flashed with light and blasted out a sword light, chopping towards Zizhang's arm. Break space. Break time. Eternity. Ignore defense. Double time acceleration. Double space compression. When Mo Qingyun slashed out a sword light, he activated several types of laws to increase the power of the sword. In Mo Qingyun's opinion, this was the best chance to kill Zizhang. Because his defense was the weakest now, it was the easiest to catch him off guard. A mantis trying to stop a chariot break. Facing the incoming sword beam, Zizhang did not dodge as expected. Instead, he swung his fist towards the sword beam. Zizhang punched out and directly penetrated the sword beam. It did not cause any hindrance to the sword beam. How? How is this possible? Seeing this scene, Zizhang's expression trembled, and a trace of panic flashed in his eyes. However, before Zizhang could recover, he clearly felt a chill on his right arm. Then, he saw the sword ray slamming into his arm, piercing a hideous wound. Not only that, the sword ray did not show any signs of dissipating after hitting his arm. What superpower is this? It's so strange. Feeling the lethality of the sword light, Zizhang's face turned pale and his body started to tremble. He could feel his arm breaking bit by bit, and the wound was getting bigger. Crack! A crisp sound was heard. Zizhang's right arm broke off and fell to the ground. Seeing this, Zixie and Zi Qingxie were dumbfounded. They could not accept this. Die thief! As Zi Qingxie was distracted, Lei Muan found an opportunity to attack him. Lei Muan hit him. Zi Qingxie flew out after being hit by Lei Muan's attack. He spat out a mouthful of blood. Devil Son, are you okay? Zizhang and Zixie were anxious when they saw Zi Qingxie's condition. They quickly asked about his condition. Zi Qingxie shook his head when he heard their questions. He endured his injuries and said, "My injuries are fine. Fongxi, we were careless and allowed them to attack us. Now we are at a disadvantage. I'm afraid we can't get the purple sacred fire. We have to get out of here as soon as possible. Devil Son, don't worry. We will escort you out of here." Thinking of the three of them, Zizhang and Zixie promised Zi Qingxie solemnly. Zi Qingxie did not relax when he heard Zizhang and Zixie's words. He looked at Mo Qingyun cautiously. In his memory, the Dark Demon tribe had never defeated Mo Qingyun. Including this time, he had crossed swords with Mo Qingyun twice. The previous time, he had been utterly defeated. This time, they had just crossed swords, and his side was already at a disadvantage. Zi Qingxie, you were lucky to escape last time. This time, I will kill you. Looking at Zi Qingxie in front of him, Mo Qingyun's face was cold and gloomy as he emitted a strong, killing intent. Zizheng was furious when he heard Mo Qingyun's words. He roared, "Brat, don't be so arrogant. I was careless just now. Watch how I take your head later." "You?" Mo Qingyun curled his lips in disdain when he saw Zizheng, who had lost an arm. His eyes were full of contempt. Seeing Mo Qingyun's performance, Zizheng's anger grew. He wished he could skin Mo Qingyun alive and pull out his tendons. When Mo Qingyun was talking, an excited voice appeared in his mind. "Master, my cultivation base has stabilized. I can help you solve your problem again." Mo Qingyun was delighted when he heard the voice in his mind. He smiled brightly. It was Enchen's voice. His cultivation base had stabilized. Enchen was not an ordinary person. His experience and skills could not be compared to others. Even Lei Muan, who had obtained the inheritance of the Luai's Ice Phoenix, was inferior to Enchen. "I have to say that you are unlucky. Even God is not willing to help you." Looking at Zi Changxie and the other two before him, Mo Qingyun's face was filled with a cold smile as he spoke coldly. Zi Changxie and the other two were confused when they heard Mo Qingyun's words. They did not understand what he meant. Just when they were confused, a figure appeared beside Mo Qingyun. The figure exuded a terrifying aura. This is the aura of a great sage. Zi Changxie and the other two were stunned when they sensed Enchen's aura. They really didn't expect that there would be a great sage expert by Mo Qingyun's side. They were weaker than Mo Qingyun and the other two. Now that Mo Qingyun had another great saint by his side, how were they supposed to escape? Enchen has broken through to the middle stage of the Great Emperor realm. Mo Qingyun was shocked when he sensed Enchen's aura. He was surprised by the situation. He did not expect Mo Qingyun to break through to the middle stage of the Great Emperor realm. After a short moment of shock, Mo Qingyun smiled brightly. He had seen the situation from afar. Chapter 2967. Let's kill him. After knowing Enchen's strength, Mo Qingyun did not waste any more time and charged towards Zizheng. When he charged towards Zizheng, Mo Qingyun did not forget to instruct Enchen. "Enchen, go and help Muan, but don't kill Zi Changxie. Leave him to Muan." "Yes." Enchen nodded. However, although Enchen did not kill Zizheng, his attacks did not decrease at all. In the face of Enchen and Lei Muan's joint attack, Zi Changxie could not resist at all. He was instantly severely injured and lost his ability to fight. After crippling Zi Changxie, Enchen did not attack again. He went to help Hauda. Although Hauda had broken through to the Emperor realm, he was still slightly weaker than Zi Xie. It was not difficult for him to restrain Zi Xie, but it was unrealistic for him to defeat or kill Zi Xie. However, with Enchen's participation, the situation was completely different. Under Enchen's powerful attacks, Zi Xie quickly lost his ability to resist and was severely injured. Demon Son, Zi Xie. Seeing that Zi Changxie and Zi Xie were severely injured, Zizheng was anxious and he roared madly. Then, his attacks became fiercer and he looked like he was going to fight Mo Qingyun to the death. In the face of Zizheng's desperate attacks, Mo Qingyun was not afraid at all. He did not intend to retreat at all. "Kill!" Mo Qingyun shouted coldly. He held the divine sword of Nine Bull and slashed at Zizheng. As Mo Qingyun swung his sword, a mysterious power was released from his body. Then, the mysterious power was added to the sword radiance. With the addition of various powers, the speed of the sword radiance was extremely fast. In the blink of an eye, it was in front of Zizheng. Perhaps because he was worried, Zizheng had obviously lost his mind. He did not dodge Mo Qingyun's sword radiance. "Brat, even if I die today, I will drag you down with me." Zizheng looked crazy. He resisted the sword radiance's attack and attacked Mo Qingyun with all his might. Shortly after, the sword ray pierced through Zizheng's body, leaving behind a hideous wound. Zizheng's attack did not stop after he took the attack head-on. He threw a punch at Mo Qingyun. As Zizheng swung his fist, a terrifying wave of saint force blasted out from his fist. Soon after, this terrifying power turned into a huge shadow of a fist. Mo Qingyun smiled contemptuously as he looked at the incoming fist shadow. He was not afraid at all. Break! Mo Qingyun waved his right hand. The 9 oxen divine sword slashed out a sword aura and tyrannically smashed onto the fist shadow. Under the bombardment of the sword light, the fist shadow was immediately blasted apart and turned into pure saint energy. After destroying the fist shadow, Mo Qingyun's attack did not slow down. He charged towards Zizheng again. Mo Qingyun's figure flashed a few times, and he appeared behind Zizheng, thrusting his sword towards his head. Sensing the chill behind him, Zizheng's expression trembled and his face turned pale. No, just as Zizheng turned around and was about to escape, the 9 oxen divine sword pierced through his head. Soon after, his eyes dimmed a little and his aura rapidly weakened. After killing Zizheng with one strike, Mo Qingyun withdrew the 9 oxen divine sword and walked towards Enchun and the rest. At this moment, Enchun and the rest battle had ended. Zixie and Zichengxie had been captured. Mo Qingyun, you better let me go immediately. Otherwise, my clan will hunt you down. Seeing Mo Qingyun approaching, Zichengxie's face darkened, and he arrogantly threatened Mo Qingyun. Hearing Zichengxie's words, Mo Qingyun shook his head in disappointment and said, I thought you were someone, but now I realize that you are far from Zicheng. After Mo Qingyun's words, Zichengxie's face turned ugly, and he showed a strong sense of dissatisfaction. It seemed that he had always been dissatisfied with Zicheng, and he wanted to find a chance to surpass him. The two of them are not ordinary, and they should know some secrets. And Chun searched their memories. After talking to Zichengxie, Mo Qingyun did not waste any more time, and he immediately gave an order to Enchun. Zichengxie and Zichengxie were both great emperors, and it was difficult for Enchun to take their memories. However, it was not difficult for Enchun to take their memories. Hearing Mo Qingyun's order, Enchun stretched out his hand without hesitation and grabbed Zichengxie's head. As his memories were forcefully taken away, Zichengxie's face was filled with pain, and he let out a miserable cry. After a while, his memories were forcefully taken away by Enchun. After taking away Zichengxie's memories, Enchun did not stop, and he started to take away Zixie's memories. After a while, after Enchun took away Zixie's memories, his face turned pale, and he said, Master, there are 2 other groups of people who have gone to the other 2 forbidden areas of the Purple Crystal Tribe. In order to obtain the Purple Crystal Sacred Fire, we must stop them as soon as possible. With Enchun's identity, he naturally knew some secrets of the Purple Crystal Tribe, and he knew how serious the matter was. Let's rush over immediately. Hearing Enchun's reminder, Mo Qingyun did not want to waste any time, and he prepared to rush over immediately. Seeing that Mo Qingyun was about to leave, Lei Muan looked at Zichengxie and asked, What should we do with the 2 of them? Let them live for a while, and they might be useful later. Hearing Lei Muan's question, Mo Qingyun thought for a while and gave a suggestion. The 2 of them are not a concern. When we meet Zi Xiao and the others, we might be able to use their lives to exchange for the old palace master's body. After we exchange for the old palace master's body, we can think of a way to kill them. It's a good use of trash. If we can't get the body back, we'll kill them directly. And Lei Muan did not have the slightest objection to Mo Qingyun's suggestion, and she agreed without hesitation. Seeing that Lei Muan had agreed, Mo Qingyun turned to Enchun and said, Enchun, take them to the Fortune mainland first. I'll summon you to help me when I need you. Yes. Enchun nodded. Then he took Zichengxie and Zichengxie, and their figures disappeared in a flash. After Enchun left, Mo Qingyun did not stay any longer, and he immediately asked Zir, where are the remaining 2 forbidden areas? Show us the way immediately. Okay. Hearing Mo Qingyun's order, Zir agreed without hesitation. Then, Mo Qing-yun and the others left the purple flame ice river and rushed towards the other forbidden areas. Coming out from the purple flame ice river, Zer stood on Mo Qing-yun's shoulder, and her eyes constantly scanned the surroundings. After identifying the direction, Zer pointed in the southwest direction and said, "That's the forbidden area, the Purple Crystal Valley, and it's closer to us. Let's go there and take a look." Okay. Mo Qing-yun agreed to Zer's suggestion without any hesitation. Soon after, Z led everyone towards the Amethyst Valley. Chapter 2968. Z was not lying. The Purple Crystal Valley was not far away. Mo Qing-yun and the other two only used half an hour to arrive at the Purple Crystal Valley. They saw countless giant purple stones. "Big brother, there are purple crystal beasts living in the Purple Crystal Valley. Be careful when you enter." Seeing that Mo Qing-yun was about to enter the valley, hurriedly reminded him. She was worried that he would be attacked by the purple crystal beasts. Hearing Z's reminder, Mo Qing-yun nodded and raised his guard. When Mo Qing-yun entered the Purple Crystal Valley, he realized that the valley was not normal. They seemed to be cut off from the outside world. Then, he released his spiritual will and sensed his surroundings. What surprised Mo Qing-yun was that when he released his spiritual will, it was reflected by the purple crystals. What a strange stone valley. Sensing the situation in the valley, Mo Qing-yun's expression was shocked. He was shocked. His senses were greatly affected. To them, this was an extremely bad situation. Then, Mo Qing-yun became even more alert. "My senses are greatly restricted in the Stone Valley. The situation is even worse." Understanding his current situation, Mo Qing-yun reminded Lei Muin and the other to be careful of their surroundings. Hearing Mo Qing-yun's warning, Lei Muin and the others' expressions changed. They became more alert. Then, Mo Qing-yun and the other two stuck close to each other and slowly walked into the Stone Valley. The deeper they went into the Stone Valley, the heavier Mo Qing-yun's expression became. He became more focused, because he realized that the environment in the Stone Valley was exactly the same. Plus, their senses were greatly weakened. They quickly lost their way. "We can't continue like this. Otherwise, we'll get lost here." Now that he understood his situation, Mo Qing-yun didn't dare to hesitate any longer. He immediately took out the 9-oxen divine sword and said, "Even if I have to disturb the purple crystal stone beasts, I have to carve a mark as a road sign to guide the way." Mo Qing-yun took out the 9-bull divine sword and slashed down towards the ground, piercing out an arrowhead pattern. Seeing Mo Qing-yun's actions, Lei Muin and Luo Ruoxin were initially worried, but their expressions soon relaxed. Given the current situation, they had no other choice but to do so. "Go!" After carving a mark on the ground, Mo Qing-yun did not stop and quickly walked into the Stone Valley. Seeing this, Lei Muin hurriedly followed behind Mo Qing-yun, heading deeper into the Stone Valley. As the three of them moved forward, Mo Qing-yun constantly left behind marks to guide them. If this continues, it won't be long before we find the entrance to the forbidden area. With the road signs pointing the way, Mo Qing-yun and the other two's journey became unusually smooth. Hearing Mo Qing-yun's words, Lei Muin and Luo Ruoxin were overjoyed and quickly followed behind him. On the other side of the Purple Crystal Valley, a few people wearing strange clothes were like headless flies, wandering around in the Stone Valley. "We have been in the Stone Valley for 2 hours, but we are still at the same place. Guys, quickly think of a way. We can't go on like this. Palace Master Chio, boss told us to listen to you. Tell us a way. Look over there. Someone seems to have left a mark." As they were talking, they saw an arrowhead symbol carved on the ground in front of them. Seeing the arrowhead on the ground, they were shocked and immediately guessed a possibility. "Not good. Someone came in. This person can leave a mark on the ground. He is definitely not weaker than us. If we follow the arrowhead, we can definitely find them. Chase after them." After a short discussion, they made a decision and began to follow the arrowhead. Mo Qing-yun and the other two did not know that these people were following them. They were moving at a steady pace. After moving forward for a while, Mo Qingyun and the other two had already entered deep into the stone valley and found a huge cave. Seeing that huge cave, Mo Qingyun was delighted. It seems that the cave in front should be the forbidden area here. After Mo Qingyun finished speaking, his figure moved and rushed towards the cave in front. What surprised Mo Qingyun and the other two was that they had just taken a few steps when the ground suddenly shook violently. Seeing this situation, Mo Qingyun and the other two were shocked and stopped in their tracks. Bang, bang, bang. At this time, not far in front of Mo Qingyun and the other two, a huge crack appeared in the ground. Then a figure that was several feet tall crawled out from the crack in the ground. When this huge figure appeared, it also waved its huge fist and smashed towards Mo Qingyun and the other two. Not good. The purple crystal stone beast has appeared. Let's retreat. Seeing the huge figure attacking, Mo Qingyun did not dare to be careless and immediately retreated with the other two. Soon, Mo Qingyun and the other two had put a large distance between themselves and the purple crystal stone beast. This is the purple crystal stone beast. What a terrifying aura. Looking at the huge creature in front of him, Hada's face was filled with shock and his eyes widened. Under the purple crystal stone beast's aura, he actually felt a sense of fear. He did not dare to confront the purple crystal stone beast directly. This purple crystal stone beast strength has already reached the level of a quasi-supreme saint. It's a difficult guy to deal with. Sensing the purple crystal stone beast's aura, Lei Yuan's face tensed up. She immediately instructed Mo Qingyun and the other two. I'll hold it back. You two find an opportunity to attack. Don't rush to kill it in one blow. We'll exhaust it bit by bit. We can't exhaust it. We have to get rid of it as soon as possible. Hearing Lei Yuan's words, Mo Qingyun shook his head and rejected it. He said, there's definitely more than one purple crystal stone beast in this valley. If a few more come, even with the help of the Dark Star, our situation is not very optimistic. After hearing Mo Qingyun's words, Lei Yuan and the other two's expressions immediately became more serious. Attack. Let's end this quickly. After expressing his thoughts, Mo Qingyun's figure flashed, and he took the lead to attack the purple crystal stone beast. As he charged towards the purple crystal stone beast, Mo Qingyun waved his right hand and blasted out a sharp ray of sword light. The speed of the ray of sword light was extremely fast. In a flash, it arrived in front of the purple crystal stone beast. Although the purple crystal stone beast was huge, its movements were not clumsy. Instead, it was extremely agile. Roar! Seeing the incoming ray of sword light, the purple crystal stone beast roared angrily and dodged in a flash. Seeing that the purple crystal stone beast wanted to dodge, Lei Yuan did not watch any longer. She immediately blocked its path. Under the attack of Lei Yuan and the other two, the purple crystal stone beast's path was blocked. The way was blocked by Lei Yuan and the other two. The purple crystal stone beast could only resist Mo Qingyun's ray of sword light. Immediately, the purple crystal stone beast swung its right fist and smashed it hard at the ray of sword light. Chapter 2969. Boom! The sword light slammed into the amethyst stone beast's arm and exploded with a huge sound, creating a terrifying shockwave. Under the attack of the sword light, the amethyst stone beast was constantly pushed back and a wound appeared on its arm. However, this injury did not pose much of a threat to it. Mo Qingyun and the other two's expressions sank when they saw this. The amethyst stone beast's defense was too strong. Its strength is much stronger than we imagined. We have to go all out. Mo Qingyun's expression became grave when he saw that the amethyst stone beast had taken his attack head-on and was not heavily injured. While Mo Qingyun's heart was heavy, he was also hesitating whether he should summon Enchun for help. At this moment, while Mo Qingyun was pondering in his heart, several figures were rapidly approaching. Someone's coming. When they saw people approaching, the expressions of Mo Qingyun and the others became even heavier. The appearance of these people was definitely not good news for them. Soon, for people wearing strange clothes appeared in front of them. The Dark Demon Clan. Mo Qingyun's eyes narrowed when he saw the people in strange clothing. Killing intent radiated from him. When Mo Qingyun stared coldly at them, one of the four people also stared at him coldly. He said darkly, Mo Qingyun, I didn't think I'd run into you here. You destroyed my Buzhou palace. Today, I'll settle accounts with you. When he heard this person's words, Mo Qingyun knew his identity. He sneered disdainfully and said, Cho Xing, I didn't kill you last time. Do you really think you're so great? Looking at Cho Xing, Lei Muin's face was cold. She exuded an icy aura and shouted, Cho Xing, I'll kill you today and avenge my father. When they heard the conversation between Mo Qingyun and the others, the people around Cho Xing knew the identities of Mo Qingyun and the others. So, it's these people who spoiled Elder Zi Zhao's plans. Since we've run into them, we'll get rid of them and help Elder Zi Zhao get rid of some trouble. Elder Zi Zhao once mentioned that the kid is not simple. You guys should be careful later. The Dark Demon Clan's people discussed for a while and stopped looking down on them. When the two sides faced off, the amethyst stone beast roared angrily and attacked Mo Qingyun and the others again. Mo Qingyun's expression froze in the face of the amethyst stone beast's attack. He hurriedly said to Lei Muin and Enchun, I'll hold back the amethyst stone beast. You and Enchun deal with the four of them. Okay, Mo Qingyun's and the others. Calm Qingyun. Qingyun. Seeing the actions of Mo Qingyun and the others, Cho Xing and the others sneered, feeling complacent. The heavens are on our side. They actually provoked an amethyst stone beast. Little girl, you want to avenge your father with just the two of you? Dream on. Great saint's aura. Be careful. How can there be a great saint powerhouse by their side? Sensing Enchin's presence, Cho Xing and the others trembled. Their eyes widened. Enchin's existence was too difficult for them to understand. Bang, bang, bang. Cho Xing and the others were caught off guard. Two of them were directly sent flying by Enchun. After being hit by Enchin's palm, the two of them spat out blood. Their faces were as pale as paper. At the same time, their combat strength was also reduced by more than half in an instant. Mistress, we'll deal with the two of them. You guys go deal with the other two. After seriously injuring the two with one palm, Enchun instructed Lei Muin to deal with the two who were seriously injured. Lei Muin and the others did not think too much when they heard Enchin's words. They immediately went to deal with the two who were injured. There was not much difference in their strength. Now that the two of them were seriously injured, it was not difficult to deal with them. As for Enchin's side, it was too easy for him to deal with the other two with his great saint combat strength. With a thought, the laws of heaven and earth around him were forcefully changed. The laws of heaven and earth were forcefully changed. Cho Xing and the others in this area immediately turned as pale as paper. This can't be true. How can it be a great saint powerhouse by their side? Looking at Enchun in front of him, Cho Xing had a crazy expression. He could not accept this fact. In his opinion, if Mo Qingyun had the help of a great saint powerhouse, why didn't Enchun make a move last time at the Buzhou Palace? However, no matter how much he did not believe it, the truth was right in front of him. Die. After Enchun changed the laws of heaven and earth, he formed a hand seal and tapped between his eyebrows. Then, two black doors of light with cold auras blasted out from his eyes. Run, run. We're no match for him. Sensing the power of the black doors of light, Cho Xing and the others panicked and immediately turned to run for their lives. However, compared to the speed of the black doors of light, the difference was too great. Puff, puff. Cho Xing and the others did not run far before the black doors of light blasted into their bodies and devoured their flesh and blood. Cho Xing and the others screamed in agony as their flesh and blood were devoured in a domineering manner. Seeing Cho Xing's miserable state, Lei Muin, who had just finished off one person, immediately said to Enchun coldly, Enchun, leave this person's life to me. I'll finish him off personally. Yes, Hearing Lei Muen's order, Enchun waved his arm and handed Cho Xing to Lei Muen. Seeing himself flying towards Lei Muen, Cho Xing's pupils immediately constricted and a chill ran down his spine. He knew very well that if he fell into Lei Muen's hands, he would definitely die. Remember this, all of you. I'll definitely avenge today. After understanding his situation, Cho Xing decisively abandoned his physical body. Immediately, Cho Xing's primordial spirit flew out from the top of his head and fled out of the valley. Where do you think you're going? Seeing Cho Xing's actions, Lei Muen waved her hand and summoned the heaven-sealing purple lightning bell. With a flash of light, the heaven-sealing purple lightning bell enveloped Cho Xing's primordial spirit and cut off his escape route. Lei, Miss Lei, Hallmaster Lei, I had no choice back then. I beg you to spare my life. Seeing that he was trapped by the heaven-sealing purple lightning bell, Cho Xing was terrified and immediately begged Lei Muen for mercy. Unfortunately, Lei Muen looked at him with even more disgust and contempt in her heart. Die! Lei Muen roared angrily and struck out with her palm, blasting out an icy blue lightning palm. The lightning palm blasted towards Cho Xing's primordial spirit and emitted an icy chill, freezing Cho Xing's primordial spirit. Bang! Then, Cho Xing's primordial spirit was struck by the lightning palm and blasted into pieces. After killing Cho Xing with one palm, Lei Muen's expression didn't change at all. She raised her hand and held the heaven-sealing purple lightning bell in her hand. End of chapter. Chapter 2970. When Lei Muen put away the purple thunder heaven-sealing bell, Enchun and Cho Ying, Er's battle had already ended. After dealing with Cho Xing and the others, Lei Muen and the others did not hesitate and immediately went to help Mo Qingyan. Master, your luck is not bad. You actually encountered an Emperor Realm Amethyst Stone Beast. When Enchun saw the Amethyst Stone Beast, he did not feel distressed. Instead, he revealed a surprised smile. Seeing Enchun's reaction, Mo Qingyan was puzzled and asked, Enchun, from what you said, it seems that the Emperor Realm Amethyst Stone Beast is not ordinary. That's right. Enchun nodded and said, the Emperor Realm Amethyst Stone Beast body will produce a kind of purple flame essence that can improve a person's physique. Hearing Enchun's words, Mo Qingyan's eyes lit up, and he felt a sense of anticipation. After explaining the effects of the purple flame essence, Enchun didn't stop talking. He turned to Mo Qingyan and said, I've read in some ancient books that if a purple crystal stone beast wants to break through to the Emperor Realm, in addition to 100 million years of cultivation, it also needs a great fortuitous encounter. It's almost impossible to find it. I see. After hearing Enchun's words, Mo Qingyan finally understood. It seemed that his luck was indeed very good. While Mo Qingyan and the others were talking, the Amethyst Stone Beast roared angrily and charged at them again. Evil beast, you're courting death. Seeing the Amethyst Stone Beast attack, Enchun's expression turned serious, and he raised his hand to point at his forehead. Then, a black door of light with an icy aura blasted out from his eyes. Boom! The black door of light was extremely fast. In the blink of an eye, it enveloped the Amethyst Stone Beast and suppressed it to the ground. After the black door of light suppressed the Amethyst Stone Beast, it emitted an icy energy that corroded the Amethyst Stone Beast body bit by bit. Roar, roar, roar. Being corroded by the black energy, the Amethyst Stone Beast screamed and waved its fists wildly. Under the Amethyst Stone Beast attacks, cracks appeared on the black door of light, and it began to collapse bit by bit. Enchun did not stop him at all. He only said sternly, Master, the Violet Crystal Stone Beast is heavily injured. It might return underground, or it might summon its companions to save it. Once the Dark Shadow Eclipse Gate collapses, we need to kill it as soon as possible. Don't give it a chance to escape. All right, Mo and the others nodded. Then, they braced themselves, waiting for the moment when the Dark Shadow Eclipse Gate collapsed. Boom! As Mo Qingyan and the others waited, the Dark Shadow Eclipse Gate crumbled and vanished from the world. Seeing the shadow eclipse gate crumble, Mo Qingyun's figure flashed and charged towards the amethyst stone beast. Horse. Transforming a horse. Pegasus, 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 Pegasus. Immediately, Mo Qingyun rode on the Saint Power Pegasus, his figure flashing constantly. Every time Mo Qingyun's figure flashed, he would leave a deep wound on the amethyst stone beast body. Now that the amethyst stone beast body had been severely injured by the shadow eclipse gate, it would not be difficult for Mo Qingyun to injure it. Not only that, but every time Mo Qingyun attacked, the amethyst stone beast path was blocked. Let's do it too. When they saw Mo Qingyun charging out, Dark Dawn and the other two hurriedly followed, coordinating their attacks with Mo Qingyun. Then, under the attacks of Mo Qingyun and the others, the amethyst stone beast was completely reduced to a target. The amethyst stone beast's injuries became more and more serious as it endured the attacks of Mo Qingyun and the others. Its movements became slower and slower. Seeing that it was in danger, the amethyst stone beast began to cry out, calling for its companions to come to its aid. Boom, boom, boom. Under the call of the amethyst stone beast, there were loud noises in the amethyst stone valley. When the loud noises were heard, Mo Qingyun and the others saw purple figures appearing in various parts of the valley. It's calling for its companions. We have to hurry. Seeing other amethyst stone beasts coming to help, Mo Qingyun's expression turned serious, immediately reminding everyone. Soon after, Mo Qingyun and the others' attacks became fiercer and fiercer. Dong, dong, dong. When the amethyst stone beast companions appeared, they began to charge madly, surrounding them. What made Mo Qingyun slightly relieved was that the amethyst stone beast that came to help were all sector lords. The amethyst stone beast is already here. Let's hurry up and get rid of it. Seeing the amethyst stone beast approaching like a tide, Mo Qingyun's expression turned serious. His attacks became stronger. Not only that, Dark Dawn and the others' attacks also became stronger. As Mo Qingyun and the others increased their attacks, the amethyst stone beast was immediately blasted away, its body slowly breaking apart. The amethyst stone beast's body was blasted apart. A ball of purple gelatinous liquid flowed out from its back. Master, this is the purple flame essence. Quickly collect it. Seeing the purple liquid flowing out, Dark Dawn reminded Mo Qingyun, asking Mo Qingyun to collect it. Hearing Dark Dawn's reminder, Mo Qingyun didn't hesitate at all, immediately taking out a jade bottle to collect it. Mo Qingyun waved his hand. The purple flame essence was placed into the jade bottle and kept in his storage ring. Let's go. After keeping the purple flame essence, Mo Qingyun didn't stay any longer and rushed towards the cave ahead. When Enchun and the other two heard this, they immediately followed behind Mo Qingyun and charged into the cave together. Roar, roar, roar. When Mo Qingyun and the others entered the cave, the amethyst stone beasts roared angrily, but didn't dare to enter the cave. From the looks of it, they seemed to be very afraid of the cave. Fortunately, they don't dare to enter the cave. Otherwise, it would be very difficult to kill so many amethyst stone beasts. Seeing that the amethyst stone beast stopped, Mo Qingyun's expression relaxed, and he felt a sense of relief. After calming himself down, Mo Qingyun looked towards the interior of the cavern and said, "This cavern might be extremely dangerous. Everyone, be careful on the way." As soon as Mo Qingyun finished speaking, he released his divine thought and sensed the inside of the cave. At the same time, he didn't hesitate at all and immediately summoned some bone bulls to scout the way. With the bone bulls scouting ahead, Mo Qingyun and the others found out about the hidden dangers in the cave one by one. After knowing the dangers in the cave, Mo Qingyun and the others were obviously much safer as they hurried along. After a few hours, Mo Qingyun and the others carefully hurried along. They arrived at the forbidden area. Walking into the forbidden area, Mo Qingyun saw a huge amethyst lode that emitted a pure energy. At this moment, in the center of the amethyst lode, There were many experts sitting cross-legged, as if they were in a deep sleep. These people should be Z's clansmen, the Amethyst clan members who sealed themselves in a deep sleep. Looking at the people around him, Mo Qingyun guessed their identities and didn't disturb them. Mo Qingyun looked away. He looked for the purple celestial sacred flame and prepared to take it away from here. Mo Qingyun looked around and saw the burning purple celestial sacred flame on a huge stone platform. Then his figure flashed and flew towards the purple celestial sacred flame. Chapter 2971. Arriving at the edge of the purple sacred flame, Mo Qingyun waved his hand, sending it back to the Fortune mainland. After putting away the purple sacred flame, Mo Qingyun's tense expression relaxed. His gaze swept over the surrounding purple crystal veins. Looking at the surrounding purple crystal veins, Mo Qingyun quickly made up his mind to move them to the Fortune mainland. Mo Qingyun thought to himself, leaving these purple crystal veins here is a great waste. Moreover, the number of purple crystal veins on the Fortune mainland is limited. It can't sustain the purple sacred flame for too long. Although Mo Qingyun had made up his mind, he did not act immediately. Instead, he asked, your clansmen have fallen into a deep slumber. If I take them away, will I harm them? Immediately understood when she heard Mo Qingyun's question. She said, Big brother, you don't have to worry about that. They've sealed themselves and entered a state of slumber. It's not a state of cultivation, but a true state of slumber. As a result, moving their bodies won't harm them. That's good. Hearing such an answer from Mo Qingyun's expression relaxed. Knowing that he wouldn't harm them, Mo Qingyun no longer had any worries. He moved them to the Fortune mainland. In Mo Qingyun's opinion, it was hard to guarantee that the purple crystal race's clansmen would not be safe here. Moving them to the Fortune mainland could guarantee their safety. There was no need to worry about them falling into a trap while they were in deep slumber. Withdraw. Mo Qingyun waved his hand, sending out a burst of energy that moved the purple crystal race's clansmen away. After sending the purple crystal race's clansmen to the Fortune mainland, Mo Qingyun began to form hand seals. Mysterious hand seals formed one after another, then were struck into the ground by Mo Qingyun, emitting dazzling lights. Before long, Mo Qingyun had placed hand seals in every corner of the Forbidden Land. Rise. After forming the hand seals, Mo Qingyun waved his hand, moving the purple crystal veins. As Mo Qingyun moved the purple crystal veins, the ground shook violently, as if there was an earthquake. Boom, boom, boom. As the purple crystal veins were unearthed, loud noises came from every corner of the Forbidden Land. A short while later, the entire purple crystal veins were forcefully moved by Mo Qingyun. Withdraw. Once the purple crystal or vein was unearthed, Mo Qingyun sent it to the Fortune mainland with a wave of his hand. After the purple crystal or vein was sent to the Fortune mainland, Mo Qingyun's expression relaxed, revealing a hint of exhaustion as he said, This purple crystal or vein is huge, almost 100 times bigger than the previous two. With it, the purple sky's sacred fire can burn for a long time on the Fortune mainland. Seeing Mo Qingyun's complexion, Lei Muan revealed a concerned expression. She immediately said to Mo Qingyun with concern, Qingyun, you've expended a lot of energy. Rest for a while before you leave. Mo Qingyun nodded and sat down cross-legged. As Mo Qingyun sat down cross-legged to cultivate, his complexion gradually improved and his aura gradually stabilized. About a quarter of an hour later, Mo Qingyun stopped cultivating and everything returned to normal. Let's go. After withdrawing from his cultivation, Mo Qingyun stood up and rushed out of the forbidden area. Hearing Mo Qingyun's words, Chun and the others quickly followed, cautiously walking into the cave. A short while later, Mo Qingyun's group arrived at the cave entrance, but they were in no hurry to leave. They were worried that the purple crystal stone beasts had not left, still waiting outside the cave. They've left. Arriving at the cave entrance, Mo Qingyun released his divine sense to sense the outside. Knowing that the purple crystal stone beasts had retreated, Mo Qingyun did not stay any longer and exited the cave. After exiting the cave, Mo Qingyun's group did not stop, following the road signs and leaving the purple crystal stone valley. On the way back, Mo Qingyun's group quickly exited the valley due to the road signs. Lead the way. We'll head to the third forbidden land. After exiting the purple crystal stone valley, Mo Qingyun did not delay and immediately urged, since the Dark Demon Tribe has come to these two forbidden lands, I'm sure the Dark Demon Tribe has also come to the last forbidden land. Moreover, we've been delayed for so long, we have to hurry over in case they take the purple sacred flame. Hearing Mo Qingyun's words, everyone's expression immediately turned grave, and they became worried. If the Dark Demon Tribe obtained the purple sacred flame, it would undoubtedly be terrible news. Not only would the people of the purple crystal race not be able to wake up from their deep slumber, but it would also allow the Dark Demon Tribe's sacred lord to break through the limits of the Great Emperor realm. In that case, no one in the universe would be able to go against him. Hearing Mo Qingyun's words, knew the severity of the situation and immediately led the way for Mo Qingyun. Then led the way for everyone, hurrying towards the third forbidden land. The third forbidden land was not far from the purple crystal stone valley. Mo Qingyun's group only took an hour to arrive there. The third forbidden land was built in a huge mountain range, and at a glance, it was covered in clouds and mist. Under Zer's lead, Mo Qingyun arrived in front of a huge purple waterfall, and he saw the scene of an intense battle. One intense battle scene. From the looks of it, it hasn't been long. Seeing the battle scene in front of him, Mo Qingyun's anxiety immediately intensified. While Mo Qingyun was observing the surroundings, Zer's pretty face turned serious, and she said in a low voice, "It must be the amethyst serpent guarding the purple crystal's sacred spring. It must have discovered that there are outsiders here and engaged in an intense battle with them. It seems that the amethyst serpent has already been killed. Let's go." Hearing Zer's words, Mo Qingyun did not dare to delay at all, and immediately flew towards the bottom of the purple waterfall. When they arrived at the bottom of the purple waterfall, Mo Qingyun saw a huge pool filled with thick purple spring water. At this moment, there were a few people wearing strange clothes in the pool, refining the spring water to heal their injuries. They are still here. When Mo Qingyun saw those people, his expression immediately turned serious. What worried him the most was that he discovered that among those people, there was one whose aura had reached the level of a great sage. Not good. One of them has broken through to the level of a great sage. The situation is not optimistic. When he sensed that person's aura, Mo Qingyun's expression trembled, and he felt a strong sense of worry. There were a total of 6 people on the other side. Aside from the great sage expert, there were 5 ordinary great emperors. With the strength of Mo Qingyun and the other 2, it could be said that they were at a disadvantage against 5 great emperors. When Mo Qingyun was observing the 6 people, they also discovered them, and they all retreated from their cultivation. Then, both sides faced each other, and it was a scene of mutual hostility. End of chapter. Chapter 2972. So it's you, kid. The Supreme Saint expert among the 6 dark devils recognized Mo Qingyun. He said in a cold voice, "Last time, I was careless and let you escape. You won't have another chance this time." As he spoke, he waved his hand to the 5 people beside him, indicating for them to surround Mo Qingyun's group. Mo Qingyun recognized him when he heard his voice. He sneered and said, "Xiao, last time, Muin and I were much weaker than you and chose Ziying. You couldn't do anything to us. It won't be the same this time. Although you've broken through to the Supreme Saint level, we also have a Supreme Saint expert on our side." Xiao's face twitched when he heard Mo Qingyun's words. He looked at Enchant in fear. He felt a terrifying aura from Enchan's body, which made his hair stand on end. When this feeling appeared, it really frightened him. As a result, it wouldn't be easy for him to deal with Mo Qingyan. Although he was extremely afraid, Zishao didn't show it. He said with a gloomy expression, "Kid, your battle prowess has greatly exceeded my expectations. However, if you think that you'll be able to contend against this old man with that, you'll likely regret it." As Zishao spoke, he raised his hand and made a grabbing motion, and a corpse appeared in his hand. He turned to look at Lame Yuan and said, "Little girl, you should be able to recognize the corpse in my hand, right?" "Father." Lame Yuan's eyes turned cold when she saw the corpse in Zishao's hand. She shouted anxiously, "You despicable and shameless guy. How dare you use father's corpse to threaten me?" When Lame Yuan scolded Zishao, she also moved. She wanted to forcefully take back the old temple master's corpse. "Don't be rash." Seeing Lame Yuan's actions, Mo Qingyun immediately chased after her and raised his hand to stop her. He said, "With Zizhao's strength, it's quite impossible for him to snatch the old home master's corpse back from him. Let me think of another way." Hearing Mo Qingyun's words, Lame Yuan regained some rationality. Her expression was still as cold as snow. Seeing that Lame Yuan had regained her rationality, Zishao frowned. He felt somewhat dissatisfied. He originally wanted to use this opportunity to make Lame Yuan lose her rationality and take the opportunity to seriously injure and capture Lame Yuan. He didn't expect that Mo Qingyun would stop him in time and ruin his plan. Seeing that his plan had been ruined by Mo Qingyun, Zizhao's face darkened. He continued to speak coldly to Lame Yuan. "Little girl, don't blame me for not giving you a chance. If you want your father's corpse back, kill Mo Qingyun now. Otherwise, don't blame me for being merciless and destroying your father's corpse." As soon as Zishao finished speaking, he immediately increased the strength of his hand. Crack, crack, crack. Under Zizhao's strength, the crisp sound of bones cracking could be heard from the old temple master's corpse. Seeing Zizhao's actions, Lame Yuan's pretty face turned pale. Her face was filled with anxiety. At the same time, Lame Yuan's eyes turned blood red and emitted a strong, murderous intent. Zishao had used the old temple master's corpse to threaten her to deal with Mo Qingyun. She couldn't tolerate this. "Little girl, my patience is limited. Hurry up and do it." Seeing Lame Yuan's reaction, Zishao smirked coldly and impatiently urged her. After urging Lame Yuan, Zishao looked at Mo Qingyun and said smugly, "Boy, you're still too inexperienced to fight me. If you want me to return the corpse, you'd better not resist. Let her finish you off with her own hands. It's a favor for you to die in the hands of the person you love. You should thank me properly." Seeing Zizhao's smug look, Lame Yuan's pretty face turned even colder. She clenched her fists and gritted her teeth. Seeing Lame Yuan's reaction, Mo Qingyun patted her hand gently and gave her a reassuring look. With Mo Qingyun's comfort, Lame Yuan's expression turned for the better, and she once again suppressed her anger. "I knew you'd do this." After comforting Lame Yuan, Mo Qingyun turned his head to look at Zishao and replied with a faint smile. Then, Mo Qingyun waved his right hand and moved Zishao and Zi Changxiao. He said, "If I remember correctly, these two should be from the Dark Demon clan. This guy called Zi Changxia seems to be a demon's son. If I kill them and bury them with the old temple master, wouldn't that be a good choice?" "Boy." Hearing Mo Qingyun's question, Zizhao's expression changed and a tinge of nervousness flashed across his eyes. He had never expected that Zi Changxia would fall into Mo Qingyun's hands. This made things difficult for him. If he forced Mo Qingyun into a corner and really killed Zi Changxia, he wouldn't be able to explain himself. Zi Changxia's background wasn't simple, and he wasn't someone he could offend. Putting aside the person behind Zi Changxia, even if it was Zi Changxia's elder brother, Zi Changrong, he wouldn't be able to explain himself. "Boy, let go of Demon's son, Zi Changxia, immediately. Otherwise, don't blame us for being rude." "Boy, if you don't let him go, we'll destroy this corpse. Elder Zishao, there's no need to talk nonsense with him. Destroy this corpse first, and then kill them. Seeing Mo Qingyun's actions, the people beside Zizhao's face darkened, and they shouted angrily. Hearing the words of the 5 people, Mo Qingyun's face turned cold, and he exuded a chilling, killing intent. He said, "I'd like to see how you're going to be rude to me." As Mo Qingyun spoke, he flipped his right palm and slammed it onto Xie's body. Bam! The violent power blasted into Xie's body and directly exploded his body and destroyed his spiritual soul. After killing Xie with one blow, Mo Qingyun didn't stop there, and he slammed his palm onto Xie again. Stop! Stop it! Seeing Mo Qingyun's stance, Zishao panicked, and he hurriedly shouted at Mo Qingyun. If Xie was killed because of this, he wouldn't be able to explain himself. Hearing Zizhao shout, Mo Qingyun stopped his right hand and looked at Zishao coldly. He said, "Elder Zishao, you asked me to stop. Do you have any advice for me?" When Mo Qingyun asked, he grabbed Xie's left hand and increased his strength. Crack, crack, crack. With Mo Qingyun's strength, the crisp sound of bones cracking could be heard from Xie's body. Under the intense pain, Xie regained consciousness and let out a miserable cry. When Xie regained consciousness and saw Zishao in front of him, he panicked and cried for help. Elder Zishao, save me, save me." Hearing Xie's cry for help, Zizhao's face turned gloomy and he clenched his fists tightly. He didn't expect Mo Qingyun to use the same method to retaliate against his threat. He had no choice but to admit that Mo Qingyun's method was ruthless enough. This time, he had lost again. "Lad, tell me your conditions. What will it take for you to release Xie?" Zishao suppressed the anger in his heart and looked at Mo Qingyun gloomily. He made a huge concession. Hearing Zizhao's question, Lame Yuan's pretty face immediately lit up and an excited expression appeared on her face. Since Zishao had said so, it meant that he had made a concession. It wouldn't be a problem for her to retrieve her father's body. As for killing Xie, there was no need to rush. There would be plenty of opportunities in the future. Under Zizhao's question, Mo Qingyun looked hesitant and said, "This is a little difficult for me. I need to think about it. You guys retreat 10 miles. Lad, you'd better not play any tricks. Otherwise, I'd rather fight to the death." Hearing Mo Qingyun's request, Zizhao's face turned cold, and he emitted a strong, murderous intent. Mo Qingyun didn't care about Zizhao's anger at all. He increased the strength in his hand. Crack, crack, crack. As Mo Qingyun increased the strength in his hand, the crisp sound of bones cracking could be heard from Xie's body. Xie screamed in agony as his bones were crushed. "Stop, stop it!" Seeing Xie's miserable state, Zishao was so angry that he gritted his teeth. He immediately took a step back and said, "All right, I'll agree to your request. However, I'll only give you 100 breaths time to think about it. If you don't give me an answer, I'll fight to the death with you." As soon as Zishao finished speaking, he led the 5 Emperor Realm powerhouses and quickly retreated to a spot 10 miles away. "I can't tell that your life is so precious. You actually made Zishao take a step back." Seeing Zishao and the others' actions, Mo Qingyun was pleasantly surprised. He was a little surprised. After a short moment of surprise, Mo Qingyun looked around to find the location of the purple sacred flame. While Mo Qingyun was looking for the purple sacred flame, Zier's soul transmission appeared in his mind. She said, "Big brother, the purple sacred flame here is a little different. It's at the bottom of the purple sacred spring." Hearing Zier's words, Mo Qingyun was shocked. He was very surprised by this situation. After a short moment of shock, Mo Qingyun didn't hesitate any longer. He handed Xie to Enchun and said, "Enchun, keep an eye on him. I'll go to the bottom of the purple sacred spring." After Mo Qingyun finished speaking, his figure flashed, and he entered the purple sacred spring. When Mo Qingyun entered the sacred amethyst spring, he sensed a pure energy emanating from the sacred amethyst spring. This purple sacred spring is good stuff. I'll have to take it all away later. After sensing the energy in the purple sacred spring, Mo Qingyun was shocked. He made a decision in his heart. While Mo Qingyun was making his decision, he didn't delay at all. He quickly dived to the bottom of the purple sacred spring. After all, Zishao had only given him 100 breaths of time to consider. He had to find the purple sacred flame as soon as possible. Very quickly, Mo Qingyun reached the bottom of the purple sacred spring and saw a purple light screen. In the middle of the light screen was a purple flame burning. This was the purple sacred flame that Mo Qingyun was looking for. When Mo Qingyun discovered the purple sacred flame, his figure flashed and he swam towards it. Chapter 2973. Mo Qingyun stood in front of the light curtain with a frown on his face. He was thinking of a way to break it open. While Mo Qingyun was pondering, Zhi's voice sounded again. "Big brother, I have a way to break open the light curtain. When the light curtain opens, you have to hurry in." "Okay." Mo Qingyun immediately agreed upon hearing Zhi's voice. In the next second, Zhi's figure flickered and appeared on his shoulder. Coming out from the Soul Palace, Zhi quickly formed a hand seal and pointed at the light curtain. Then, the purple light screen shook and a crack appeared on it. "Big brother, quickly go in," Zhi urged Mo Qingyun after opening a crack in the light curtain. Hearing Zhi's voice, Mo Qingyun's figure flickered and entered the purple light curtain. "Collect." Inside the light curtain, Mo Qingyun stood beside the purple heavenly sacred fire and waved his hand. Subsequently, the purple heavenly sacred fire was collected by him and moved to the Fortune mainland's purple crystal or vein. "Since I got the purple heavenly sacred fire, it's time to trade with Zishao." Mo Qingyun smiled as he muttered to himself. He had Zhi open the light curtain and disappeared in a flicker. A short while later, Mo Qingyun left the purple heavenly sacred spring and stood above it. "Collect." Coming out from the purple heavenly sacred spring, Mo Qingyun waved his hand and sucked the purple heavenly sacred spring into the Fortune mainland. Mo Qingyun's action of collecting the purple heavenly sacred spring immediately attracted Zishao and the others' attention, infuriating them. In a flicker, Zishao and the others appeared above Mo Qingyun and snapped, "Punk, stop immediately. If you dare to collect the purple heavenly sacred spring again, this old man will destroy his corpse." Seeing Zishao's reaction, Mo Qingyun resentfully stopped, no longer collecting the purple heavenly sacred spring. If he forced Zishao into a corner, he might really destroy the old home master's corpse. Even if he killed Zi Chengxie, it would be useless and he would not be able to answer to Lame Yuan. Seeing Mo Qingyun stop, Zishao's expression improved slightly. His tone was still cold as he asked, "Kid, the time of 100 breaths is up. Have you made up your mind? My request is very simple. Use Zi Chengxie to exchange for the old palace master's corpse." Upon hearing Zishao's question, Mo Qingyun did not beat around the bush and directly stated his request. Zishao was not surprised by Mo Qingyun's request at all. It was as if he had expected it. "And Chun, go and exchange with him. If he dares to do anything strange, kill Zi Chengxie immediately." Considering Zishao's strength, Mo Qingyun decided to let Chun do the trade to prevent Zishao from playing any tricks. In Mo Qingyun's opinion, with Chen's strength and methods, Zishao could not play any tricks. Seeing Chen make a deal with him, Zishao's expression tensed up, and he showed some fear. Coming in front of Chen, Zishao lifted the old palace master's corpse and carefully handed it over. Seeing Zishao's action, Chen did not say anything and slowly handed over Zi Chengxie. Then, Chen took the old palace master's corpse and Zishao took over Zi Chengxie. After the trade was completed, Zishao's figure flashed and he distanced himself from Chen. Looking at his behavior, He seemed to be worried that Enchun would suddenly attack and launch a sneak attack on him. Demon's son, how are your injuries? After exchanging Zi Chengxie, Zi Xiao looked nervous and immediately asked about his condition. Hearing Zi Xiao's question, Zi Chengxie shook his head and looked at Mo Qingyun gloomily. He said, "My injuries are not serious. Capture that kid immediately. I want to peel his skin, pull out his tendons, and chop him into pieces." After checking on Zi Chengxie's condition, Zi Xiao looked relaxed. He looked at Mo Qingyun and said, "Don't worry, Demon's son. Today, none of them will be able to escape. All of them will be buried here." While Zi Xiao and the others were talking, Enchun's figure flashed and came to Mo Qingyun's side. He handed over the old palace master's corpse. Seeing that Enchun handed over the old palace master's corpse, Mo Qingyun raised his hand and sent it to the Fortune mainland. After Mo Qingyun did all this, he said to Lei Muan, "We'll talk about other things later. The most important thing now is how to deal with Zi Xiao and the others." Originally, their side did not have any advantage when fighting with Zi Xiao and the others. Now that Zi Chengxie was added, their situation was even worse. Enchun, try to kill Zi Xiao as quickly as possible. We'll hold back the other 6 people. Mo Qingyun swept his gaze over Zi Xiao's group of 7. Then, he spoke to Enchun with a grave expression. Although Enchun and Zi Xiao's cultivation were the same, Mo Qingyun felt that it would not be difficult for Enchun to kill Zi Xiao. Yes. Hearing Mo Qingyun's order, Enchun responded and charged towards Zi Xiao. Seeing that Enchun had taken the initiative to attack, Mo Qingyun did not hesitate and immediately charged towards Zi Chengxie and the others. When Mo Qingyun attacked, he didn't let his guard down in the slightest. He immediately instructed Lei Muan, "Muan, find an opportunity later and use the heaven-sealing purple lightning bell to trap them." Hearing Mo Qingyun's instructions, Lei Muan nodded. Seeing that Mo Qingyun and the other 2 were approaching, Zi Chengxie sneered and said proudly, "You want to fight against us with just the 3 of you? You're courting death." From Zi Chengxie's point of view, the difference in their strength was too big. Mo Qingyun and the other 2 had no chance of winning. After Zi Chengxie finished his words, he and the other 5 people surrounded Mo Qingyun and the other 2. Same power horse. When it flew towards Zi Chengxie and the other 5, Mo Qingyun did not hesitate and immediately formed the Saint Power Pegasus. Then, Mo Qingyun's figure flashed and came to Zi Chengxie's side. He slashed at him and said, "You talk too much. I'll kill you first and then deal with the other 5. Seeing Mo Qingyun's action, Zi Chengxie was stunned and panic flashed in his eyes. He did not expect Mo Qingyun to be so fast that he could not react in time. However, Zi Chengxie was a great emperor after all. He quickly calmed down and blocked Mo Qingyun's sword radiance. Darking palm. Zi Chengxie flipped his palm and quickly gathered a gust of saint power to attack the sword radiance. However, when his palm came into contact with the sword radiance, it did not have any effect and was directly penetrated by the sword radiance. The sword radiance pierced through the palm shadow and landed on Zi Chengxie's body, sending him flying out. Demon's son, seeing Zi Chengxie's situation, the other 5 great emperors immediately looked at him anxiously. Soon, 2 of them came to Zi Chengxie's side and released their divine consciousness to check on him. Seeing this, Mo Qingyun's expression turned serious. He immediately said to Lei Muan, "Muan, take out the heaven-sealing purple lightning bell and trap the 3 of them." "Okay." Hearing Mo Qingyun's reminder, Lei Muan's face turned serious. She lifted her hand and waved at Zi Chengxie and the other 2. Then, a small bell that was flashing with purple light flew out from her hand. After the heaven-sealing purple lightning bell left Lei Muan's hand, it began to expand rapidly. Soon, it trapped Zi Chengxie and the other 2. Seeing this, Zi Zhao's face darkened. He shouted angrily, "This cunning brat! How dare you use this trick again? I'll kill you first." Zishao shouted angrily. He flew towards Mo Qingyun and wanted to kill Mo Qingyun first. With Zishao's eyesight, he could naturally see that although Mo Qingyun's cultivation was not high, he was the leader among Mo Qingyun, Lei Muan, and Mo Qingyun. If he killed Mo Qingyun, Lei Muan and Hahad would not be a threat. They would not be a match for his three subordinates. What do you think you're going to escape after fighting with me? Seeing Zizhao's action, and Chen's face turned cold. He immediately chased after him, and Chen's figure flashed once. He caught up with Zishao and blocked his way. With Chen blocking his way, no matter how angry Zishao was, there was nothing he could do. Seeing that Zishao was blocked, Mo Qingyun's expression relaxed. He took a deep breath and said, "Fortunately, Chen has broken through to the great sage level. Otherwise, I might have died here when I met Zishao and the others." After calming down, Mo Qingyun looked at the three people from the Dark Devil clan. He said to Lei Muan and Zi Cheng, "It's 3 against 3 now. I'll hold them back. You two find an opportunity to kill one of them." As soon as Mo Qingyun's words fell, his figure disappeared, and he launched an attack on one of them. When Mo Qingyun attacked, he did not hold back and immediately activated the Gate of Creation. Spatial Gate. Gate of Time. Soon, 2 gates of light that emitted mysterious power condensed beside him. After the 2 gates of light were condensed, they flew into Mo Qingyun's body. Spatial Overlap. Time Prohibition. When the 2 gates of light entered his body, the power of laws they carried was comprehended by Mo Qingyun. After obtaining 2 types of power of laws, Mo Qingyun smiled faintly and said, "With double spatial overlap and double time prohibition, it will be much easier to deal with these 3 people." Double spatial overlap, double time prohibition. After obtaining 2 types of power of laws, Mo Qingyun immediately used them to weaken the battle strength of the 3 people. Under Mo Qingyun's attack, the surrounding spatial laws immediately changed. The 3 people from the Dark Devil clan were immediately separated and appeared on 3 different levels. Not only that, but the 3 of them also stopped moving at this moment. Seeing this, Lei Muan and Hahad were overjoyed and immediately attacked the people in front of them. When Lei Muan and Hahad attacked, that person broke through the double time restriction law and immediately blocked the attacks of Lei Muan and Hahad. Extreme Flood Dragon Stab. The sword in that person's hand flashed and slashed out a ray of sword light, blasting away Lei Muan and the others' palms. When the sword radiance came into contact with the palm shadows, it was like a flood dragon, crazily attacking the 2 palm shadows. Soon after, under this person's vigorous defense, Lei Muan and Li Wuyo's palms were blocked. After neutralizing Lei Muan's attack, this person's expression immediately turned joyful, and he appeared to be somewhat proud of himself. Seeing this, Mo Qingyun's figure flashed and approached that person. Chapter 2974. You blocked the palm shadows of Mu Wan and Ha-Er. Can you block my sword light? Mo Qingyun's figure flashed. He appeared behind the man and slashed at him. Then, a sharp sword light blasted out from the divine Sword of 9 Bulls. Hearing the voice behind him, the man's expression trembled. He turned his head in horror. When he saw the approaching sword light, his face turned pale. He said, "How did you?" Before he could finish his words, the sword light was already in front of him. He was so frightened that he hurriedly blocked it. The sword in his hand flashed and shot out an ice-cold black sword ray. Chi! Mo Qingyun's sword light directly penetrated the black sword light's defense. Seeing that the sword light had directly penetrated his sword light, the man was so frightened that his pupils shrank. This situation was too abnormal. It was completely beyond his understanding. Chi! While the man was still in shock, Mo Qingyun's sword light blasted his chest overbearingly. Soon after, he felt a domineering force enter his body with a violent force. Bearing the impact of this power, he spat out a mouthful of blood and was sent flying backwards. After defeating the man with one sword, Mo Qingyun did not stop. He continued to chase after the man. Muin, hurry up and attack. Let's get rid of this man first. When Mo Qingyun chased after the man, he sent a voice transmission to Lei Muin and asking them to attack together. Hearing Mo Qingyun's voice transmission, Lei Muin and hurriedly caught up and attacked the man. Then, the man was surrounded by Mo Qingyun and the other two and fell into a dangerous situation. Sensing the situation, Zi Xiao, who was fighting with Enchun in the distance, immediately became as gloomy as ink. He really did not expect that they would end up like this when they had an absolute advantage. That damn brat. He has once again ruined this old man's plans. Seeing such a situation, with Zi Xiao's intelligence, how could he not know that his plan had been disrupted again? What caused him to be even more vexed was that he was being held back by Enchun, and it was even slightly difficult for him to protect himself, let alone assist his subordinates. Enchun smiled faintly when he saw how Zi Xiao was distracted. He said, "You can't even protect yourself, yet you want to help others. I think you're tired of living." As soon as Enchun finished speaking, he formed a hand seal and tapped between his eyebrows. Then, a strange door of black light shot out his eyes. Shadow Eclipse Gate. The black door of light shot out from Enchun's eyes and expanded rapidly. In the blink of an eye, it imprisoned Zi Xiao. When Zi Xiao had been imprisoned by the Shadow Eclipse Gate, he had sensed a terrifying force corroding his body. Soon after, Zi Xiao realized that his body had started to rot bit by bit. His physical body was being corroded by the overbearing force. Zi Xiao immediately let out a blood-curdling scream as his face turned pale. Afterwards, he began to attack the Shadow Eclipse Gate madly. Very soon, the Shadow Eclipse Gate shattered. After escaping from the Shadow Eclipse Gate, Zi Xiao was in a horrible shape. His presence had become much weaker as well. This person is far too powerful. I'm not his opponent at all. After being heavily injured by Enchun's attack, Zi Xiao's gaze toward Enchun was filled with intense fear. If Enchun's divine ability were to be used a few more times, he would probably lose his combat strength. After learning how powerful Enchun was, Zi Xiao accepted reality. He was no longer bold enough to continue fighting Enchun. Zi Xiao understood this point and began to think in his heart. Looking at the current situation, it's absolutely impossible for me to save the Devil's Son and the others. If I continue fighting, I might die here. What should I do? Although he wanted to retreat, Zi Xiao was not bold enough to leave just like that. He was afraid that if Zi Changxie died because of this, he would be blamed by his superiors. At that moment, Zi Xiao was extremely frustrated. He was stuck between a rock and a hard place. Enchun sneered when he saw Zi Xiao's heavy expression. He said, "Since you're in such a difficult position, I'll make the decision for you. I'll go with them." As Enchun spoke, he formed a hand seal again and tapped the center of his brows. Afterwards, an even more powerful black door of light shot out from his eyes. Zi Xiao's face trembled in fright when he saw Enchun's attack. He immediately made a decision and yelled out furiously, "Brat, just you wait. If you dare to kill Zi Changxie, the demonic son, the sacred master won't forgive you." After Zi Xiao said those harsh words, he transformed into a stream of light and disappeared from where he stood. He knew very well that if he stayed, he really would die there. Seeing Zi Xiao turn around and flee, Enchun immediately chased after him. However, Zi Xiao had used a secret technique to escape. In the end, Enchun still let him escape. After losing Zi Xiao, Enchun did not chase after him. Instead, he turned around and flew toward Mo Qingyun and the others. Before long, Enchun arrived beside Mo Qingyun. He said apologetically, "Master, that person used a secret technique to escape. I couldn't stop him. Don't blame yourself. Although Zi Xiao escaped, it's enough to stop Zi Changxie and the others." Mo Qingyun smiled faintly and waved his hand in response to Enchun's self-blame. He looked at the other three and said, "Since Zi Xiao escaped, Help us get rid of these 3 people first. Yes. Enchun responded and attacked the 3 of them. The 3 people's strength was already inferior to Mo Qingyun's group. Now that Enchun was added, they were immediately slaughtered. After a few rounds of fighting, Mo Qingyun's group of 4 worked together to kill the 3 people. After killing the 3 people, Mo Qingyun flew toward the heaven-sealing purple lightning bell and said, Muin, put away the heaven-sealing purple lightning bell. It's time to deal with the 3 of them. When Lei Muin arrived above the heaven-sealing purple lightning bell, she raised her hand and put it away. Seeing that the heaven-sealing purple lightning bell was taken away, Zi Changxie smiled in surprise. He had used Zi Xiao to kill Mo Qingyun and the others. Why? Why is it you? Where did Elder Zi Xiao and the others go? Looking at Mo Qingyun's group of 4 in the sky, the smile on Zi Changxie's face immediately froze. This outcome was simply too unexpected to him. Hearing Zi Changxie's question, Mo Qingyun smiled faintly and said, The few of us are standing here, but Zi Xiao and the others are not. What do you think happened to them? When Mo Qingyun said that, Zi Changxie and the others trembled and their faces turned pale. According to Mo Qingyun's words, Zi Xiao and the others seem to have been killed. No, impossible. With your strength, it's impossible to kill Elder Zi Xiao. Although he knew that Zi Xiao and the others were probably dead, Zi Changxie still could not accept it. His expression became a little crazy. Zi Xiao had just used the old Hall Master's body to exchange for him from Mo Qingyun's hands. In the end, in less than 15 minutes, he fell into Mo Qingyun's hands again. He could not accept the quick change of joy and sorrow. Let's do it. Looking at Zi Changxie's uncertain expression, Mo Qingyun did not waste his breath and nodded at Enchun and the others. Hearing Mo Qingyun's words, Enchun and the others immediately attacked Zi Changxie and the others. With their strength, they were no match for Mo Qingyun's group of 4. Soon, they were severely injured and lost their ability to fight. Zi Changxie had lost the ability to fight. He put on a pleading expression and said, Mo Qingyun, please don't kill me. As long as you don't kill me, I will do anything. Hearing Zi Changxie's words, a playful smile appeared on Mo Qingyun's face. He said, Now that you mention it, I'm a little hesitant. Seeing how Zi Xiao valued you earlier, you are indeed quite useful. Seeing Mo Qingyun's reaction, Zi Changxie was pleasantly surprised. He thought that Mo Qingyun was tempted. Then, he continued to persuade Mo Qingyun, You're right. If you keep me alive, you can use me to make a deal with my tribe the next time you're in danger. Seeing Zi Changxie's reaction, Mo Qingyun smiled even more. He pretended to shake his head apologetically and said, Your suggestion is good. However, you're no longer useful to us. If we really need a hostage next time, perhaps Zi Chongrong is more suitable. As for you, you can go and die. After Mo Qingyun finished speaking, he signaled to Lei Muin to deal with Zi Changxie personally. Seeing Mo Qingyun's signal, Lei Muin's face turned cold, and she immediately attacked Zi Changxie. Don't kill me. Seeing Lei Muin's action, Zi Changxie was so scared that his face twitched. He shouted crazily, Mo Qingyun, if you kill me, my tribe will definitely attack the true absolute beginning demon hall. Prepare to die with me. Bang! Just as Zi Changxie finished speaking, Lei Muin's palm landed on his head, shattering his primordial spirit. Then, Zi Changxie's gaze dimmed, and his aura began to fade. Seeing that Zi Changxie was killed, Mo Qingyun's figure flickered, appearing above the purple crystal holy spring. Collect! Standing above the purple crystal holy spring, Mo Qingyun moved to collect it and moved it to the Fortune mainland. In a short while, the purple crystal holy spring was completely moved to the Fortune mainland. What surprised Mo Qingyun was that when the purple crystal holy spring was moved to the purple crystal or vein, the or vein seemed to have gained some spirituality. After the purple crystal holy spring's nourishment, The purple crystal or vein actually gave birth to new purple crystal ores. Seeing this, Mo Qingyun was pleasantly surprised. His expression became excited as he said, "In this case, I don't have to worry about the purple crystal holy fire being extinguished when the purple crystal or vein is exhausted." Bang, bang, bang. While Mo Qingyun was overjoyed, 3 balls of purple crystal holy fire suddenly exploded. Noticing this, Mo Qingyun's expression changed, and a trace of anxiety appeared on his face. This situation came too suddenly, and he was not prepared for it at all. If the purple crystal holy fire was extinguished because of this, he wouldn't be able to answer to Zir. Then, in a flicker, he entered the Fortune mainland. Chapter 2975. Arriving in the vicinity of the purple crystal or vein, Mo Qingyun took a brief look around before summoning Zir. Mo Qingyun asked, "Zir, what's going on? Why did the 3 balls of purple heavenly sacred fire suddenly explode?" Hearing Mo Qingyun's question, Zir checked the situation and revealed a sweet smile. "Big brother, don't worry, my clansmen are about to wake up." "Your clansmen are about to wake up?" Zir's answer surprised Mo Qingyun. Of course, while Mo Qingyun was surprised, he was even more shocked. Although the purple crystal race had sealed their auras, preventing him from sensing their cultivation base, he was certain that the purple crystal race's clansmen's strength was terrifying. At the very least, at this level of cultivation, no one could compete with them. Thinking of this, Mo Qingyun had a vague feeling that a powerful force was about to appear. Thinking of this, Mo Qingyun was filled with anticipation. He quickly asked Zir, "When will your clansmen wake up?" "I don't know." Hearing Mo Qingyun's question, Zir shook her head blankly. After pondering for a moment, she said, "They might wake up in a few years or a few decades, 100 years, or even 1,000 years. But they will definitely wake up within 10,000 years." "They will definitely wake up within 10,000 years?" Hearing such an answer from Mo Qingyun was speechless. He didn't know what to say. Zir's answer was too uncertain. After knowing the purple crystal race's situation, Mo Qingyun's worries were put to rest. He threw away the distracting thoughts in his mind and said, "Since it's like this, there's no need to care about them. Let them stay here for now." Then, Mo Qingyun's figure disappeared in a flicker, leaving the Fortune mainland. "Qingyun, you left in a hurry just now. Did something happen on the Fortune mainland?" Seeing that Mo Qingyun had come out from the Fortune mainland, Lei Muin's concern was written all over her face. Hearing Lei Muin's concern, Mo Qingyun shook his head with a faint smile. "Don't worry. Something happened to the amethyst race just now. There's no problem now." Hearing Mo Qingyun's words, the expressions of Lei Muin and the others relaxed. After explaining the situation to Lei Muin, Mo Qingyun was not willing to stay any longer. He said to the 3 of them, "Judging from the current situation, all the treasures in the purple heaven holy land are with us. There is no point in staying here. Let's return to the sect." "Yes." Upon hearing Mo Qingyun's suggestion, Lei Muin and the others nodded in agreement. Then they left the purple heaven sacred land and returned to the true, absolute, beginning demon hall. "Senior Howda, do you have any plans after leaving the purple heaven holy land?" On the way out of the purple heaven holy land, Mo Qingyun turned to look at Howda, asking for his opinion. Mo Qingyun thought that with Howda's Emperor Realm cultivation, it would be a good thing if he could pull him into the true absolute beginning demon hall. Hearing Mo Qingyun's question, Howda pondered for a moment, then said, "I'm used to wandering around, so I haven't thought a good place to go. I guess I'll continue to roam the world." "In that case, why don't you take up a position as a Grand Elder in the true, absolute beginning demon hall?" Knowing Howda's thoughts, Mo Qingyun did not beat around the bush, directly inviting him. "You don't need to do anything under normal circumstances, but the true, absolute beginning demon hall is in danger, and you need to help resolve it." Upon hearing Mo Qingyun's invitation, Lei Muin's eyes lit up, and a hint of anticipation appeared on her face. Howda was an Emperor Realm expert. If he joined the true absolute beginning demon hall, it would undoubtedly increase the strength of the true absolute beginning demon hall. Under the gaze of Mo, Qingyun, and the others, Hauda hesitated for a moment, then made a decision. Since it's little friend Mo's invitation, I naturally can't reject it. I'll join the true absolute beginning demon hall then. All right. Seeing Hauda accept the invitation, Mo Qingyun nodded in satisfaction. If Hauda joined the true absolute beginning demon hall, even if he and Lei Muan left in the future, there would still be an Emperor Realm expert overseeing the sect. This was undoubtedly a lot of protection for the true absolute beginning demon hall. Next, Lei Muan controlled the flying ship and brought everyone back to the true absolute beginning demon hall. After chatting with everyone for a while, Mo Qingyun did not want to waste time, so he got up and said to them, I'm going to refine the purple flame essence, so I might need to go into seclusion for a period of time. If anything happens, send me a message immediately. All right, several of them answered. After giving some instructions to Lei Muan and the others, Mo Qingyun's figure disappeared in a flicker, entering the Fortune mainland. When Mo Qingyun arrived at the Fortune mainland, he took out the purple flame essence and wrapped it with a layer of holy force. After wrapping the purple flame essence with his holy force, Mo Qingyun began refining it, tempering his body. The moment the purple flame essence entered his body, Mo Qingyun clearly felt a sharp pain coming from his body. This kind of feeling was as if he was inside a furnace, being burned by flames. I must endure it. Feeling the excruciating pain, Mo Qingyun gritted his teeth, trying his best to endure it. While Mo Qingyun endured the pain, he could clearly feel his body growing stronger. Gradually, a red filthy substance was expelled from Mo Qingyun's pores. After the filthy substance was expelled, Mo Qingyun's skin emitted a faint layer of purple light. At first glance, Mo Qingyun looked like he had grown a layer of purple crystal dragon scales. My physique has doubled after refining only 1/3 of the purple flame essence. Sensing the changes in his body, Mo Qingyun's heart skipped a beat, and a look of pleasant surprise appeared on his face. Immediately, he put more effort into refining the purple flame essence, urging his body to temper itself. Time passed quickly while Huang Xiaolong was cultivating. In the blink of an eye, several days had passed. Under Mo Qingyun's continuous refinement, the purple flame essence was completely refined by him. After refining the purple flame essence, Mo Qingyun's physique underwent a great transformation. My lightning fire dragon saint physique seems to have evolved into a new physique. Noticing the change in his physique, Mo Qingyun frowned. He was curious and said, "This new physique doesn't seem to belong to any saint physique. What kind of physique is this?" "The transformation of my physique is due to refining the purple flame essence. It might have something to do with the heaven realm. I wonder if Enchun can tell." With this thought in mind, Mo Qingyun no longer hesitated and immediately summoned Enchun to his side. "Enchun, after refining the purple flame essence, my physique underwent a transformation. Can you tell what kind of physique it is?" Seeing that Enchun had come to his side, Mo Qingyun urged his physique and asked Enchun to identify it. Hearing Mo Qingyun's words, Enchun released his divine thought to check on Mo Qingyun's physical condition. Chapter 2976. Enchun frowned as he examined Su Mo. It seemed that he couldn't recognize it. Seeing that Enchun didn't speak for a long time, Mo Qingyun asked anxiously, "Can you see what kind of physique I've transformed into?" "I'm not sure which one it is." Hearing Mo Qingyun's question, Enchun shook his head and said with a puzzled expression, "But your current physique is similar to the purple thunder crystal dragon body, which is ranked 4th among the 100,000 heaven mighty overlord bodies in the heaven realm." Hearing Enchun's words, Mo Qingyun's eyes lit up and he became a little excited. Among the 100,000 heaven mighty overlord bodies in the heaven realm, The purple thunder crystal dragon body rank 4th was very powerful. At least, the various divine bodies that Mo Qingyun knew couldn't be compared with the purple thunder crystal dragon body. After briefly explaining the situation, Enchun didn't stop talking. He asked Mo Qingyun, Master, any kind of heaven mighty overlord body will have a heaven mighty secret skill. What is your heaven mighty secret skill? Heaven mighty secret skill? Mo Qingyun couldn't help but be a little stunned by Enchun's question. He didn't understand what Enchun meant. Other than feeling that his physique had become stronger, he didn't find anything unusual. Seeing that Mo Qingyun didn't understand, Enchun explained to him, the heaven mighty secret skill is the same as the innate magic and the bloodline magic. It's an instinctive magic, but it's more powerful. Hearing Enchun's explanation, Mo Qingyun understood and tried to sense the heaven mighty secret skill. After a while, Mo Qingyun withdrew from the sensing. He looked disappointed and said, My new physique doesn't seem to give birth to the heaven mighty secret skill. It seems that he doesn't have the heaven mighty overlord body. That's a pity. Hearing Mo Qingyun's answer, Enchun looked regretful. He had seen the heaven mighty overlord body and knew how powerful it was. He also knew how rare it was. Because of this, he felt even more regretful when he found out that Mo Qingyun didn't have the heaven mighty overlord body. Although it's not the heaven's might overlord body, my defense is much stronger than before. Sensing the strength of his body, Mo Qingyun appeared very calm and revealed a satisfied smile. At least for now, after refining the purple flame essence, his physique had indeed become stronger. The purple flame essence has been refined. It's time for me to go out and take a look. The moment Mo Qingyun's words fell, his figure disappeared from the Fortune mainland in a flicker. Seeing Mo Qingyun come out, Lei Muan quickly went up to him and looked at Mo Qingyun in surprise. They could clearly feel that Mo Qingyun's current aura was clearly different from before. Congratulations, little friend Mo. Your strength has improved by another step after this closed-door training. Chapter 2977. Seeing that Mo Qingyun wasn't moved at all, the man immediately understood that there was no point in arguing. Then, he revealed a ruthless expression and threatened Mo Qingyun. Since you know we are from the Dark Demon race, why don't you retreat to the side to avoid offending our race and being hunted down by our all-heavens? It seemed that he wanted to use the Dark Demon race's reputation to make Mo Qingyun and the others retreat. I didn't expect the Dark Demon race to become so bold in just a few days. They dare to swagger through the streets and commit atrocities. Mo Qingyun didn't care at all when he heard the man's warning. He curled his lips in disdain and waved to Hahadi beside him. Hahadi, go and deal with these people. I want to see how the Dark Demon race will hunt me down. All right, Hahadi responded when he heard Mo Qingyun's order and flew toward the group. The aura of an Emperor Realm powerhouse erupted from Hahadi's body as he dodged. Under the crushing pressure of Hahadi's aura, the Dark Demon race members turned pale with fright. Run! They didn't dare to put on a brave front and immediately ran for their lives with their tails between their legs. Hahadi hurriedly chased after them when he saw that they were about to escape. Strange, since when did the people from the Dark Demon clan dare to appear so openly? Mo Qingyun frowned when he saw the Dark Demon race members running for their lives. He couldn't understand why they were doing this. In his opinion, the Dark Demon race had always been like a rat crossing the street, hiding in dark corners. Now, not only did they appear openly, but they were also hunting down other races. It had to be said that this situation was too abnormal. It seems that something big must have happened while we were in the Purple Heaven Sacred Land. Lei Muan briefly explained her thoughts when she heard Mo Qingyun's puzzled words. Mo Qingyun nodded in agreement with her guess. They are being chased by the Dark Demons. They should know more about the situation. Let's go and ask them. Mo Qingyun's figure flashed and appeared in front of the gray-robed group. With a curious expression, he asked, "Where did you come from? Why are you being chased by the dark devil race?" Hearing Mo Qingyun's question, the gray-robed elder said with a fearful expression, "We are members of the heavenly forsaken race. We used to live on the heavenly forsaken continent. Not long ago, the dark devil race invaded our continent and tried to exterminate us. Under their pursuit, our clansmen were scattered. We fled all the way here." After explaining his background, the old man revealed a pleading expression and knelt down in front of Mo Qingyun, saying, "Please take us in. We are willing to be your slaves for generations to repay your kindness." Mo Qingyun thought about the old man's request for a while and guessed, "There are too many of you for our sect to accept. Given your strength, it shouldn't be difficult for you to find an empty continent and establish your own clan." Seeing that Mo Qingyun wasn't willing to take them in, the heavenly forsaken race elder immediately became anxious and hurriedly pleaded, "Young master, if we establish our own clan, we may be chased by the dark devil race again. Young master, please take pity on us and take us in. Young master, please take pity on us and take us in." After the heavenly forsaken race elder finished speaking, the other heavenly wings race members knelt down in front of Mo Qingyun. Seeing the actions of the heavenly forsaken race, Mo Qingyun deliberated for a while and said, "How about this? Follow me first, and I will arrange a place for you to stay later." "Many thanks, young master." Hearing Mo Qingyun's reply, the heavenly forsaken race members were overjoyed and kowtowed to Mo Qingyun in gratitude. While Mo Qingyun was conversing with the heavenly forsaken race members, Hahad returned to his side and said, "Little friend Mo, those people have been dealt with. However, in the process of pursuing them, I discovered some dark devil race members who were chasing after other clans. It seems that a huge change has indeed occurred during this period of time." Hearing Hahad's description, Mo Qingyun's brows furrowed tightly, and he felt an intense pressure. At the same time, Mo Qingyun also felt a sense of worry. This place is very close to the true absolute beginning devil hall. Perhaps the dark devil race has also sent people to invade the true absolute beginning devil hall. Let's hurry back immediately to prevent further trouble. After Mo Qingyun finished speaking, he called the heavenly forsaken race members to board the flying ship. Seeing the heavenly forsaken race members board the flying ship, Lei Muin controlled the flying ship and returned to the true absolute beginning devil hall. On the way back, Mo Qingyun saw many dark devil race members leading people from other clans to attack one faction after another. Seeing such a situation, the worry in Mo Qingyun's heart became even more intense. He said, "It seems that the dark devil race is really no longer hiding and has started to invade the various major star domains." After Mo Qingyun confirmed this point, the pressure in his heart instantly became much heavier. Given his hatred for the dark devil race, if the dark devil race no longer hid, they would definitely crazily take revenge on him. About half a day later, under Mo Qingyun's worry, they returned to the true absolute beginning devil hall. Entering the true absolute beginning devil hall, Mo Qingyun clearly felt that the atmosphere in the sect was very stifling. It seems that the sect situation isn't too good. Let's go find the patriarchs immediately. Seeing the situation in the true absolute beginning devil hall, Mo Qingyun communicated with Lei Muin and prepared to go find Mu Xiaye and the others. After discussing with Lei Muin for a while, Mo Qingyun said to Hahada, "Hahada, wait on the flying ship with the heavenly forsaken race members first. When we're done with things, we'll come and settle you down." "All right." Hearing Mo Qingyun's instructions, Hahada nodded heartily and said, "Little friend Mo, go ahead and do what you need to do. Leave this place to me." Mo Qingyun nodded and left with Lei Muin. Mo Qingyun and Hahada arrived in the Thunder Hall in a flash and transmitted a message to Lei Gi and the others. After receiving Mo Qingyun and Hahada's transmission, Lei Gi and the others immediately rushed over with heavy expressions. Seeing Lei Gi and the others arrive, Lei Muin's pretty face tensed up and she asked them, "Patriarch Lei Gi, what exactly happened?" Why are there so many Dark Devil race running amok? Not long ago, the Dark Devil race suddenly appeared and attacked the sects of the various major star domains. Hearing Lei Yuan's question, Lei Gi's old face darkened, and he said in a heavy tone, "According to the information we received, the star domains below 4-star rank have all been occupied by the Dark Devil race. They're currently attacking the 4-star star domains." So fast, Lei Gi's narration shocked Mo Qingyun and Hahada's hearts. One had to admit that the Dark Devil race's attacks were too fierce and their speed was too fast. Chapter 2978. A few days ago, we received an invitation from the Great Void Heaven Temple asking us to join the Anti-Demon Alliance. After explaining the current situation to Mo Qingyun, Lei Gi did not stop speaking. He continued to report to Mo Qingyun, "Since Hall Master has returned, this matter will be decided by him. We will naturally join the Anti-Demon Alliance initiated by the Great Void Heaven Temple. After which, I'll contact the people from the Great Void Heaven Temple." Hearing Lei Gi's words, Lei Yuan replied. Her expression dimmed slightly. "Currently, the most important thing is to bury Father's corpse. We found the corpse of the old Hall Master." Hearing Lei Yuan's words, Lei Gi and the others revealed startled expressions. This news was too unexpected for them. Even though Lei Yuan had previously mentioned that she was going to the Purple Heaven Holy Land to retrieve the corpse of the old Hall Master, the old Hall Master had died in the Purple Heaven Holy Land. However, it had been many years since the old Palace Master had died in the Purple Heaven Holy Land. Thus, it was extremely difficult to find his corpse in the Purple Heaven Holy Land. "Forefather Lei Gi, I'll leave the matter of Father's burial to you." After explaining her thoughts to the others, Lei Yuan instructed Lei Gi to be responsible for the burial of the old Hall Master. "Yes." Hearing Lei Yuan's instructions, Lei Gi immediately nodded and accepted the order, saying, "This old man will go and arrange for some people to prepare for the burial of the old Hall Master." After Lei Gi finished speaking, he stood up and left the Great Hall. After Lei Gi left, Lei Yuan turned to Xiao Mu He, saying, "Forefather Xiao Mu He, this time we've taken in some refugees on our way back from the Purple Heaven Holy Land. Can you prepare a place for them to settle down?" "Taken refugees?" Hearing Lei Yuan's words, Xiao Mu He's face revealed a look of shock. He was surprised by this situation. After a brief moment of shock, Xiao Mu He began thinking about where to settle the refugees. Xia he thought for a moment and came up with a plan. He said, "Hall Master, the Wind Snail Shadowless Valley under the jurisdiction of the Wind Hall is currently empty. Where can we settle the refugees?" "All right, then let's settle them in the Shadowless Valley of Wind Snails and treat them like a branch of the Wind Hall." After confirming where the Tian-E clan would settle down, Lei Yuan gave the order to give the Tian-E clan an identity. After instructing Mu Xia, Lei Yuan stood up and walked out of the hall, saying, "Old ancestor Mu Xia, come with us. I'll take you to them. In addition, I will recommend someone to you. When the time comes, you can arrange the position of Grand Elder for him. Hall Master, taking the refugees is already the greatest favor we can give them. I'm afraid it's not appropriate to confer them the title of Grand Supreme Elder, right?" Hearing Lei Yuan's words, Summerwood's old face frowned, showing some disapproval. Seeing Summerwood's reaction, Mo Qingyun guessed what he was thinking and knew that he'd misunderstood Lei Yuan's words. Then Mo Qingyun explained to Summerwood, "Old ancestor Mu Xia, the person Mu Wan wants to confer the title of Grand Supreme Elder. He's not one of the refugees we've taken in, but a friend of mine. So that's how it is. I've worried too much." After hearing Mo Qingyun's words, Summerwood's old face relaxed and the worry in his heart disappeared. While Mo Qingyun and the others were talking, they arrived outside the True Demon Hall and saw Hahada and the Tian-E clan members on the flying boat. "Old ancestor Mu Xia, this is my friend Hada. He's the person Mu Wan wants to confer the title of Grand Supreme Elder." After arriving in front of Hada and the others, Mo Qingyun introduced him as Summer, would so that they could get to know each other. After hearing Mo Qingyun's introduction, Summerwood looked at Hada and sensed his cultivation. A great emperor powerhouse. Summerwood's old face trembled when he sensed Hada's aura fluctuation. Intense shock filled his eyes. He didn't expect that it would actually be a great emperor realm powerhouse who wanted to join the true absolute beginning Devil Hall. After a brief moment of shock, Summerwood's old face lit up with excitement. He knew very well that the addition of a great emperor powerhouse would greatly affect the strength of the true Demon Hall. Old ancestor Musya, he greets Senior Hada. After sizing up Hada a few times, Summerwood bowed respectfully to Hada. Hada hurriedly cupped his hands in greeting and responded politely to Summerwood's greeting. After the two exchanged a few pleasantries, Mo Qingyun pointed to the Tian E clan members and introduced them to Summerwood. Old ancestor Musyahi, these are the Tian E clan members. They're the ones I asked you to help settle down. Summerwood nodded after hearing Mo Qingyun's introduction. He nodded to the Tian E clan members and said, "Follow me. I'll help you settle down." Yes. The Tian E clan members hurriedly followed after hearing Summerwood's words. Seeing the Tian E clan leave, Hada hurriedly followed. He came to Musyahi's side and said, "Taoist Musyahi, I'll go with you and take a walk around the true, absolute beginning Demon Hall. It's good that you're coming with us. After I settle them down, I can arrange a place for you to stay." Summerwood didn't mind Hada's following at all and responded with a faint smile. Mo Qingyun smiled at Lei Muin after seeing Summerwood and the others leave. Since the problem of settling them down has been resolved, let's go back to Lei Muin nodded after hearing Mo Qingyun's words. If one observed carefully, they would discover that her brows were tightly knitted together as if she was thinking of something. Mo Qingyun looked concerned when he saw Lei Muin's expression. He hurriedly asked her, "What's wrong? What's on your mind?" "Nothing. I just feel that it's a little strange, but I can't tell what's wrong." Lei Muin's brows furrowed even more when she heard Mo Qingyun's question. She looked like she had a lot on her mind. Mo Qingyun was even more curious when he saw Lei Muin's reply. "Tell me what's wrong. Let's analyze it together." Lei Muin nodded. Then, her face tightened as if she was recalling something. She said, "Just now, when we came here, I noticed that the way Haha looked at a woman of the heavenly Forsaken clan was different from how he looked at ordinary people. It was as if his mind was bewitched. I feel that he followed her closely just now because of this." Mo Qingyun was slightly taken aback when he heard Lei Muin's words. He didn't expect her to be talking about this. Knowing what Lei Muin was worried about, Mo Qingyun smiled carelessly and said, "According to what you said, Hada must have fallen in love with that woman at first sight. This isn't a bad thing. If Hada marries that woman, then we can leave the matters of the Tian E clan to him in the future. We can also save ourselves some trouble." Lei Muin's brows relaxed when she heard Mo Qingyun's words. Her expression became calmer. It seemed that she had let go of her worries. Chapter 2979. Let's go. After comforting Lei Muin, Mo Qingyun walked forward and prepared to take a look at the Ice Palace. Before long, Mo Qingyun and Lei Muin arrived at the Ice Palace. "Master," Mo Qingyun entered the Ice Palace, and a familiar figure entered his line of sight. That's right, the person Mo Qingyun saw was the sect master of the Supreme Harmony Demon sect, Babilai. "Qingyun, you've returned from the Purple Heaven sacred ground." Hearing Mo Qingyun's voice, Babilai turned his head and walked over with a surprised expression. When Babilai saw Lei Muin, he showed a respectful expression and bowed. Babilai greets the palace master. When he bowed to Lei Muin, Babilai looked at Mo Qingyun with a strange gaze. Clearly, Mo Qingyun had attracted Lei Muin and shocked him quite a bit. No need to be so polite. Lei Muin calmly waved her hand at Babeli's actions and said, "The truth of what happened in the past has been revealed. It has nothing to do with you. If you're willing to return to the true primordial demon hall, go and talk to Palace Master Extreme Ice. Thank you, Palace Master. Hearing Lei Muin's words, Babilai was overjoyed and his eyes became moist. Although he had left the true primordial demon hall and created the Supreme Harmony Demon sect, he still hoped to return to the true primordial demon hall in the depths of his heart. Firstly, he felt a sense of belonging. Secondly, he wanted to clear his name and clarify that the old palace master's death had nothing to do with him. Master, you've come to the true primordial demon hall. Could it be that the Supreme Harmony Demon sect has been attacked by the Dark Demon race? Supreme Harmony Devil sect was a 4-star sect, so Mo Qingyun thought that Supreme Harmony Devil sect was in trouble when Babilai suddenly came to True Beginning Devil Hall. Hearing Mo Qingyun's question, Babilai smiled faintly and shook his head. He said, "There's no need to worry. Everything is fine in the Supreme Harmony Demon sect. The reason why I came here is because you helped me clear my name. Master sent someone to bring me back." "I see." Hearing Babeli's words, Mo Qingyun's expression relaxed a bit. It seemed like the Dark Devil race's attack hadn't reached the Supreme Harmony Devil sect yet. After learning about the Supreme Harmony Devil sect situation, Mo Qingyun revealed a concerned expression and asked, "Master, the Dark Devil race is currently attacking the 4-star forces territory. Why don't you merge the Supreme Harmony Devil sect into the true, absolute beginning Devil Hall? This way, we can take care of each other." "That's what I was thinking too. I just told Master about it not long ago." Babilai immediately nodded in agreement to Mo Qingyun's suggestion. He was very clear that the Supreme Harmony Devil sect strength was no match for the Dark Devil race. Not to mention the Supreme Harmony Devil sect, even the true absolute beginning Devil Hall strength was no match for the Dark Devil race. One had to know that there were Saint Emperors in the Dark Devil race. "Let's go see Grandmaster." After exchanging some pleasantries with Babilai, Mo Qingyun's footsteps didn't stop as he hurried to Icepole's residence. Soon, the three of them arrived outside Icepole's courtyard and saw Murong Nana watering the herb garden. "Greetings, Palace Master." Seeing Mo Qingyun's group arrive, Murong Nana immediately came forward and bowed to Lei Muin. Lei Muin calmly nodded in response to Murong Nana's greeting. She said, "No need to be so polite. Is Palace Master Icepole here?" "He's in the house. I'll go call him now." Hearing Lei Muin's question, Murong Nana nodded and walked into the house. Before Murong Nana entered the house, Icepole walked out of the house and bowed to Lei Muin. He said, "Greetings, Palace Master. Everyone, please take a seat here." Under Icepole's greeting, everyone took a seat. "Palace Master, did your trip to the Purple Heaven Sacred Land go smoothly?" After everyone sat down, Icepole showed a concerned expression and asked about the trip to the Purple Heaven Sacred Land. Hearing Icepole's question, Lei Muin nodded happily. She said, "Everything went smoothly. Father's body has been found." "That's great." Hearing Mo Qingyun's reply, Icepole's face was filled with ecstasy. He was very excited. Lei Muin said, "I've already instructed Ancestor Lei Gi to prepare Father's burial. Now that the old Palace Master can rest in peace, I can rest assured." After hearing Lei Muin's words, Icepole's expression relaxed. It was as if a wish had been fulfilled. After talking about the old Palace Master, Mo Qingyun asked Icepole, "Martial Ancestor, Master is preparing to return to the true Demon Palace. What are you going to do with the Supreme Harmony Demon Sect's disciples?" "That's not difficult." Icepole smiled faintly as if he had already thought of a plan. He said, "I'm going to set up a branch in the Ice Palace to settle the Supreme Harmony Demon Sect's disciples. Babilai will be the branch's hall master and continue to manage the Supreme Harmony Demon Sect's disciples." "That's a good idea." Mo Qingyun and the others nodded at Icepole's arrangement. After discussing how to settle the Supreme Harmony Demon Sect's disciples, Icepole frowned. He said, "The Dark Demon race has launched a large-scale attack. The Supreme Harmony Demon Sect is only a 4-star force. They might be attacked at any time. You have to go and reinforce them as soon as possible to prevent the Dark Demon race from invading the Supreme Harmony Demon sect and causing casualties. Oh no! Mo Qingyun's heart skipped a beat when he heard Ice Pole's words. He felt extremely uneasy. He suddenly remembered that the Dark Demon race had already occupied the 1st to 3rd star regions. Therefore, the Desolate Continent and Wood Source Galaxy might have already fallen. With the hatred between me and Zi Qingrong, he will definitely attack the Heavenly Soul Demon race. That's why he came to take revenge on me. The Dark Demon race has already set up a stronghold in the Wood Source Galaxy. They will probably attack Zi Shu as well. I hope nothing happens to them. The more Mo Qian thought about it, the more uneasy he felt. The more he felt that the situation was bad, the more anxious he became. Lei Muin asked with concern when she saw the change in Mo Qingyun's expression. Qingyun, what happened? Why you look so pale? I suddenly remembered that the 1st to 3rd star regions have fallen. My people might be in danger. Mo Qingyun explained to Lei Muin when he heard her question. He said with a worried expression, Muin, I've decided to go back and take a look after the old palace master is buried. I'll go with you. Lei Muin was worried when she thought about how Mo Qingyun might have to go deep into the Dark Demon race's territory. Mo Qingyun shook his head when he heard Lei Muin's words. You can't go with me. The Dark Demon race is in chaos right now. The true Primordium Demon Hall needs you. Plus, I haven't Shun with me. I won't be in any danger. Okay. Lei Muin's worry lessened when she heard Mo Qingyun's words. However, she was still concerned. Although you haven't Shun with you, there are many supreme saints in the Dark Demon race. You have to be extremely careful. Okay. Mo Qingyun nodded. End of chapter. Chapter 2980. The situation is urgent now. The Dark Demon race will attack the Supreme Harmony Demon sect at any time. Let's go now. After a brief discussion with Polar Snow and the others, Mo Qingyun stood up and instructed Babilai, who stood beside him. All right. Babilai nodded in agreement when he heard Mo Qingyun's words. Mo Qingyun left with Babilai and hurried to the Supreme Harmony Demon sect. Qingyun, the journey to the Supreme Harmony Demon sect is a bit long. You can save some time with my lightning shuttle flying ship. After sending Mo Qingyun and Babilai out of the true Alpha Demon Hall, Lei Muin took out her flying ship and handed it to him. Mo Qingyun didn't reject the flying ship that Lei Muin handed to him. He took the flying ship and said, All right, we're going. You can all go back. As soon as Mo Qingyun finished speaking, he took control of the flying boat and set off for the Supreme Harmony Demon sect. Under Mo Qingyun's control, the flying ship turned into a bolt of lightning and sped through the starry sky. With our current speed, we'll reach the Supreme Harmony Demon sect in a day at most. Controlling the Thunder Shuttle airship, Mo Qingyun calculated the time and knew how long it would take. Babilai was shocked when he heard Mo Qingyun's words. He was a little shocked by the flying ship speed. However, he was happy to see such a situation. In his opinion, the sooner they returned to the Supreme Harmony Demon sect, the safer they could be. A day later, just as Mo Qingyun had estimated, they only used a day's time to arrive at the Supreme Harmony Devil sect. Oh no, the Dark Demon race is attacking. Arriving not far from the Supreme Harmony Demon Gate, intense battle scenes entered Mo Qingyun's line of sight. Seeing this situation, Mo Qingyun's expression became heavy, and a sense of anxiety appeared in his heart. Then, he put away the lightning shuttle and charged into the sect with Babilai. As soon as they entered the Supreme Harmony Devil Gate, Mo Qingyun took out the 9-bull divine sword and slaughtered the Dark Devil race's experts. Chi. Under Mo Qingyun's frenzied attacks, one dark demon after another was blasted apart by the tyrannical sword light. In just a few moments, the number of dark demons that had died in Mo Qingyun's hands had reached over 100. After killing over 100 dark devils in a row and carving out a bloody path through the battlefield, Missouri Qingyun said to Babilai, Master, you organize the disciples. I'll go kill a few of the Dark Devil's commanders. Just now, when Mo Qingyun attacked, he also observed the battlefield and found a few Dark Demon commanders. All right. Hearing Mo Qingyun's instructions, Babilai nodded and went to organize his disciples. As for Mo Qingyun going to kill the Dark Devil commanders, Babilai wasn't worried. The Dark Devil race that attacked the Supreme Harmony Devil Gate wasn't especially strong. The few commanders were only at the initial and intermediate Sector Lord realm. Before Mo Qingyun reached the Sector Lord realm, he was already able to kill Sector Lords. Now that he had broken through to the Sector Lord realm, it shouldn't be a problem for him to kill those at the initial and intermediate Sector Lord realm. I'll kill you first. Mo Qingyun's figure flashed, and he appeared beside a commander and slashed down. The 9-bull divine sword flashed and slashed out a sword light that slashed at the commander with lightning speed. So strong. Sensing the sword light's aura, this initial Sector Lord commander immediately revealed a terrified expression. Under the envelopment of Mo Qingyun's sword aura, he felt like he was in an ice cellar. While he was panicking, he didn't just wait for death. He immediately dodged and prepared to escape. He was clear that with his strength, he wasn't a match for Mo Qingyun. However, just as he was about to flee, he realized he couldn't move. This situation gave him quite a fright. How is this possible? Why can't I break through his space imprisonment law? Seeing the space around him being imprisoned, this commander revealed a shocked expression and his eyes opened wide. Without waiting for him to calm down, he saw a sword flash past and hit his head in a domineering manner. Pucci! The sword light flashed past and penetrated his head, scattering his primordial spirit. His primordial spirit was dispersed by a domineering strike. This initial stage, Sector Lord Realm Commander died with unwillingness. Seeing Mo Qingyun's performance, Babel was immediately shocked. He couldn't help but suck in a breath of cold air. He said in shock, "I didn't expect Qingyun's strength to reach such a level after not seeing him for a while." He originally thought that with Mo Qingyun's current strength, even if it wasn't difficult to kill a Sector Lord, he would need some time to deal with the Sector Lord. Who would have thought that Mo Qingyun would use a single sword to kill a Sector Lord? This combat strength was too terrifying. Not good. Commander Zi Qi has been killed. Damn kid. How dare he sneak attack Commander Zi Qi? He's courting death. Let's attack together and deal with that kid. Seeing Mo Qingyun's actions, the other Dark Devil commanders charged at Mo Qingyun furiously. Soon, they surrounded Mo Qingyun and joined forces to attack Mo Qingyun. A bunch of ants. Seeing the Dark Demon commanders attacking, Mo Qingyun smiled contemptuously, a look of disdain appearing on his face. Shortly after, Mo Qingyun waved the 9-bull divine sword and blasted out an arc of sword light. When Mo Qingyun waved his sword, a profound dual spatial imprisonment law was emitted from his body. Being enveloped by the dual spatial imprisonment law, they were like Zi Qi and lost the ability to move. But what is going on? Why can't I move? Such a strange spatial imprisonment law. It's close to twice as strong as a normal perfect spatial imprisonment law. This kid is too strange. If we can't break free from the spatial imprisonment, we will be slain by his sword. Seeing the situation they were in, the leaders of the Dark Demon race showed intense fear on their faces. Before they could think of a solution, the sword light flashed past their bodies and left behind a hideous wound. Chi. Being struck by the sword light, they were instantly killed and their bodies turned to mush. Seeing the power of Mo Qingyun's sword, Babilai, who was organizing his disciples, was stunned on the spot. 5 Sector Lords were killed by Mo Qingyun in a single strike. More importantly, there were 2 intermediate Sector Lords among the 5. I still underestimated Qingyun's strength. He's actually this strong. Looking at the skinny figure not far away, Babilai took a deep breath and couldn't calm down for a long time. Mo Qingyun's current performance had exceeded his expectations. While Babilai was shocked, He was more excited and happy. To him, the stronger Mo Qingyun was, the better. It would prove that he didn't misjudge Mo Qingyun. Chapter 2981. Our commanders have been killed. Run. After discovering that their commanders have been killed, the remaining Dark Devil race's morale plummeted as they fled for their lives. Mo Qingyun's face turned cold as he watched the Dark Demon race's troops retreat. His figure flashed as he chased after them. As Mo Qingyun chased after them, he constantly swung the Nine-Bull Divine Sword and slashed out streaks of sharp sword light. PFFF, PFFF, PFFF. Under Mo Qingyun's attacks, the Dark Devil race was killed one after another with fear and unwillingness. In the blink of an eye, Mo Qingyun had killed thousands of Dark Devil race members. Seeing Mo Qingyun's actions, the remaining Dark Devil race members were frightened and their morale plummeted. The Dark Devil race was so frightened that they threw away their helmets and armor. On the other hand, the members of the Supreme Harmony Devil sect had their morale boosted as they followed Mo Qingyun and chased after them. About a quarter of an hour later, the Dark Devil race members that had invaded the Supreme Harmony Devil sect were all killed by Mo Qingyun and the others. After killing all the Dark Devil race members, Mo Qingyun returned to Babeli's side and said, "Master, immediately gather everyone. Once everyone is gathered, we will leave this place. I'm worried that after this batch of Dark Devil race members is killed, there will be new Dark Devil race members coming." After hearing Mo Qingyun's instructions, Babeli didn't dare to hesitate and immediately went to gather the members of the Supreme Harmony Devil sect. Under Babeli's command, the remaining members of the Supreme Harmony Devil sect immediately gathered together. After gathering all the members of the Supreme Harmony Devil sect, Babeli went to clean up the sect's treasury and took away the sect's cultivation resources. After everything was settled, everyone boarded the lightning shuttle flying ship and prepared to head to the absolute beginning Devil Palace. Just as Mo Qingyun and the others were about to leave, another batch of Dark Devil race members arrived and blocked their path. Not good. The Dark Devil race members are here. We can't leave. So many sector lords, close to 10 of them. The auras of those two are so terrifying. They are definitely not at the World Overlord realm. Could they be emperors? If a great Emperor realm expert appears, won't we be dead for sure? The Supreme Harmony Devil sect is only a 4-star force. Why would they alert an Emperor realm expert? Sensing the strength of the Dark Devil race, the Supreme Harmony sect disciples were dumbfounded. Soon after, expressions of despair appeared on their faces. Zi Chungrong, it's actually him. Mo Qingyun saw a familiar figure among the Dark Devil troops. Who would have thought that when I see him again, his cultivation base is already in the Great Sage level? It seems he's recovered the cultivation base of his past life. When Mo Qingyun was sizing up Zi Changxia, Zi Changxia also noticed him. A cold smile appeared on his face as he said, "Mo Qingyun, who would have thought that I would meet you here the moment I came out of seclusion? It's as the saying goes, enemies are bound to meet on a narrow road." Hearing Zi Chungrong's words, Babeli's expression changed and shock flashed across his eyes. He had never thought that Mo Qingyun would have a grudge against an Emperor realm expert. It seemed like it wasn't an ordinary grudge. If Babeli knew that Mo Qingyun had killed several great Emperor realm experts in the Purple Heaven Holy Ground, he would be even more shocked. I also didn't think that a stray dog like you would be able to turn over a new leaf one day. Looking at the arrogant Zi Chungrong, Mo Qingyun mocked him. His expression gradually turned cold as he said, "Although I'm surprised that your cultivation base has reached the Great Sage level, since I can kill you once, I can do it again. What a boastful brat. You're about to die, and yet you're still so arrogant." Hearing Mo Qingyun's arrogant words, the great Emperor realm expert beside Zi Chungrong scolded him angrily. Immediately after, he waved his hand at the person beside him and said, "Zi Qin, go and capture that brat and hand him over to His Highness the Demon Sun." Yes. Ziqin immediately cupped his hands and accepted the order. Immediately after, he prepared to take action and capture Imo Qingyun. Wait a moment. Seeing Ziqin's action, Zi Chungrong's expression turned solemn. He raised his hand to stop Ziqin and said, Elder Zi Fei, this brat is not simple. I'm afraid that Ziqin is not his match. It's better that I deal with him personally. Demon Sun, hearing Zi Chungrong's words, Zi Fei widened his eyes in shock. He thought that he had misheard. He would never have thought that Zi Chungrong would deal with him personally. He thought too highly of Imo Qingyun. Seeing Zi Fei's reaction, Zi Chungrong smiled faintly and said, Elder Zi Fei, you haven't fought with him before. You don't know how powerful he is. You can't underestimate him. If you dare to underestimate him, you will pay a painful price. After Zi Chungrong finished speaking, his body flashed and he flew towards Imo Qingyun. Recalling Zi Chungrong's words, Zi Fei was completely stunned. He felt that it was unreal. Imo Qingyun, I will deal with you personally. I hope that you won't disappoint me. Zi Chungrong's body flashed, and he appeared above Imo Qingyun with a faint smile on his face. His demeanor was filled with mockery and contempt. Thank you for thinking so highly of me. However, I still don't want to fight with you. In the face of Zi Chungrong's provocation, Imo Qingyun smiled faintly, as if he was having a heart-to-heart talk with an old friend. Although Imo Qingyun's strength had increased greatly, he was still not confident that he could fight with a great sage expert. When Imo Qingyun was speaking, he pointed at his glabella and summoned Enchun. He said, Enchun, stop this person for me. Don't let him hurt others. Yes. Hearing Imo Qingyun's order, Enchun nodded and rushed towards Zi Chungrong. Immediately, a great sage aura was emitted from Enchun's body. A great sage expert. Zi Chungrong was shocked when he sensed Enchun's aura. His expression became solemn as he said, Imo Qingyun, you really can surprise people as usual. I didn't expect you to have a great saint expert by your side. Fortunately, I was prepared this time. Otherwise, I'm afraid I would have fallen into your trap again. As soon as Zi Chungrong finished speaking, he calmed himself down and focused on dealing with Enchun's attack. Your Highness Devil Son is wise. That kid is really strange. Seeing Enchun's appearance, Zi Fei's old face trembled. His eyes were filled with intense shock. No matter how strong his imagination was, he would never have thought that Imo Qingyun would have a great sage expert by his side. Even if he has a great sage expert protecting him, it won't change the current situation. After he calmed the shock in his heart, Zi Fei's expression turned gloomy, and he emanated intense, killing intent. I don't believe a kid at the initial stage of the World Lord realm can go against an emperor. Zi Fei cursed in his heart. His figure flashed, and he flew towards Imo Qingyun. End of chapter. Chapter 2982. Kid, let me see what you're capable of. You're worthy of the demon prince's attention. Zi Fei's figure flashed a few times. He arrived in front of Imo Qingyun and slammed his palm towards Imo Qingyun. Zi Fei waved his palm, and a terrifying emperor's might exploded from his body. Under Zi Fei's great emperor's pressure, Babilai and the others trembled. Their faces were filled with fear. Master, take the disciples and retreat far away. I'll take care of this person. Seeing Zi Fei's attack, Imo Qingyun instructed Babilai and went up to Zi Fei. Hearing Imo Qingyun's instructions, Babilai didn't dare to hesitate. He immediately took the disciples and retreated. When Babilai and the others retreated, Imo Qingyun arrived in front of Zi Fei and slashed at him. Eternity! Imo Qingyun swung his sword, and the 9-oxen divine sword flashed with light, blasting out a sharp sword ray. Subsequently, the sword ray collided with the palm shadow and blocked its attack. Bang! There was a loud sound. A terrifying saint power storm erupted where the sword light and the palm shadow collided. Facing the saint power storm, Imo Qingyun and Zi Fei hurriedly retreated and distanced themselves from the storm. After a short while, the Saint Power storm slowly dissipated. Fei's palm shadow was also on the verge of collapsing. However, Mo Qingyun's sword light didn't show any signs of weakening. Fei's pupils constricted when he witnessed this scene, and a wisp of surprise surged into his eyes. He said, "The light from his sword has dispersed my palm, yet its might hasn't weakened at all. This kid is really too strange." After fighting with Mo Qingyun for one round, Fei saw that Mo Qingyun wasn't normal. His expression became grave. Soon after, the contempt he had for Mo Qingyun was completely dispelled. Compared to the shock in Fei's heart, Babilai and the others who were watching from the side were even more shocked. Senior brother Mo is too strong. He can actually fight against a great emperor. Senior brother Mo is only at the initial stage of the Sector Lord realm, and he can already fight against a great emperor. If he breaks through to the great emperor realm, he'll be even stronger. That's nothing. I heard that senior brother Mo hasn't even cultivated for 100 years. He broke through to the Sector Lord realm in less than 100 years. His talent is terrifying. Looking at Mo Qingyun's performance, the disciples of Supreme Demon Sect were filled with admiration. But Beli's feelings were similar to his disciples. However, while Babilai was excited, he was also a little worried, because there were still a few world lords from the Dark Devil race who hadn't made a move yet. If they made a move, the Supreme Harmony Devil Sect wouldn't be able to withstand it. Now, Mo Qingyun and Enchun were both entangled. There was already no one who could help them. While Babilai was worried, Fei's face turned cold. Chapter 2984. If you want to hurt me, you have to catch up with me first. Facing Qingrong's attack, Mo Qingyun was not afraid at all. He rode on the Saint Power Pegasus and dodged quickly. As soon as Mo Qingyun finished his words, his figure flashed and disappeared from the spot. Seeing Mo Qingyun dodging, Qingrong's face changed and became ferocious. Mo Qingyun's speed was too fast. Even if he gave it his all, he could not touch the corner of Mo Qingyun's clothes. Most importantly, if he could not kill Mo Qingyun this time, it would be difficult for him to have such an opportunity in the future. After all, it wasn't common for Mo Qingyun to fight him one-on-one. You'll know soon enough whether I can kill you or not. Qingrong's figure flashed, and he chased after Mo Qingyun, attacking him crazily. Facing Qingrong's attack, Mo Qingyun's expression turned solemn, and he was extremely focused. Although Qingrong could not catch up with him, Qingrong was a great saint expert after all. If he underestimated or was careless in the process of fighting with him, the consequences would be unimaginable. However, Mo Qingyun did not panic at all. He had fought with a great saint expert before. Although Qingrong was powerful, he was only slightly more powerful than Shao. There was not much of a difference. Therefore, as long as Mo Qingyun was careful, Qingrong might not be able to hurt him. Mo Qingyun, now that you're in front of me, do you only know how to run away with your tail between your legs? Looking at Mo Qingyun, who was dodging left and right, Qingrong's face darkened. He could not catch up with Mo Qingyun at all. He couldn't even touch the corner of Mo Qingyun's clothes. So how could he kill Mo Qingyun? Qingrong's provocation was immediately seen through by Mo Qingyun. A disdainful smile appeared on Mo Qingyun's face as he said, "Qingrong, your low-level provocation is useless against me." After replying to Qingrong, Mo Qingyun continued to dodge. He did not want to confront Qingrong directly. His idea was very clear. As long as he could hold Qingrong back, Enchun could deal with Fei in peace. With Enchun's strength, it would not take long to deal with Fei. After Enchun killed Fei, he could come over to help and attack Qingrong together. At that time, No matter how powerful Zi Chungrong was, he would be powerless. With Zi Chungrong's intelligence, he naturally knew what Mo Qingyun was thinking. Understanding Mo Qingyun's intention, Zi Chungrong's face darkened, and an intense cold light flashed in his eyes. He said, Mo Qingyun, you want to delay me and let that person deal with Zi Fei. This is a good idea, but you have to deal with me while controlling the Quasi-Emperor corpse to fight. Can your mind withstand it? This guy is really not easy to deal with. He actually saw through me.